You're a bad man.
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
Some things are a matter of doing.
The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough to dispute.
I was about to take advice from a clown who dives headfirst into the shallow end of the pool.
It's Talk Sports with John Reed and Cody McClure.
If it is to be said, so it be. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is.
It's a Tennessee thing.
Well, I'm holding on.
Back in the booth, back on the airwaves, coming at you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. John Reed, Sam Beard. Cody's in California with his ma. Bubba's running late. It's just me and you, Samuel, kicking off this rainy but beautiful Tuesday morning. Felt good outside. That's about the temperature I like.
I'm good for the mid-40s.
Yeah.
With rain, I think. Like, I feel like yesterday was kind of mid-40s, but windy and not as pleasant.
Felt good. Don't love the, like, when it rains or whatever, but a little mist in the air is okay with me. A little mist is all right. How are you on this Tuesday morning?
I'm feeling good this morning. Just letting that season sink in a little bit more. Trying to stay up to date with some of these coaching search stuff with Penn State and everything. And then just watched a movie last night, but it was a movie that I had already seen. And
what'd you watch?
Charlie hadn't already seen it before. The Martian.
Oh, yeah. I don't like space movies.
Really? Never seen it?
I've never seen that. I've never seen Interstellar. I've never seen Gravity. I don't
Really?
like space movies. And I understand that I need to watch. What's the one with McConaughey yelling at himself? Is that Interstellar?
Yeah.
I need to watch that one because that one is very memeable, and I know that one's got great reviews. Gravity, that's the one with Clooney and Sandra Bullock, right?
Correct.
That one doesn't interest me. And The Martian, that's the one with Matt Damon, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen Mars Attacks. I don't know if you've seen that. That was a big staple of my movies when I was like in the 90s when I was a kid. Martians come down and they're mean. They're very like comic book type of Martians, but they're actually mean. I think Jack Nicholson is the president. I liked that movie as a kid. I like Armageddon. That movie's in space. But outside of that, not really a space movie guy.
You know, I don't know why I've seen most of these space movies because I'm kind of with you. I'm normally not really like a science fiction type of guy or just fake stuff that, like I like to think that most of the movies I watch like can be real at some point. But like with this one, he's having to try and grow stuff on Mars. I'm like, we're not going to get there.
Interesting. I've heard people say that. My buddy's wife is impossible in that way too, or she says that the movie has to be realistic. I don't feel that way.
Just a little bit.
Now, I don't love like science fiction stuff, but I can get lost in worlds and not necessarily feel like it has to be real. But I mean, space is real, Sam. Space
but
is
like,
up there.
I'm trying not to just explain the entire movie without.
You don't have to.
Movie, but
yeah, The Martian's been out long enough.
Yeah,
I don't plan on watching it. I do think I'll get around to Interstellar at some point, maybe, but
I think you should see Interstellar. I feel like that's one that, like, even if you don't like space movies, it's one of those type of movies that is gotten so memeable that it's like you just want to be able to know what people are talking about, kind of.
I've figured out, I feel like most of them, the meaning, I kind of understand McConaughey yelling at himself. I kind of picked up on that through context clues. But yeah, I'll give it a try. It's space combined with 2 hours and 50 minutes. I saw that and I was like, yeah,
it was a long movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's two of my things that are holdups. I don't love space, and I don't like my movies to be over 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like that's I won't say a hard cutoff because I have watched longer movies, but it's really pushing it.
Do you watch those like Mindbender movies, like
No.
Inception or anything like that?
I watched Inception, but it was one of those that took a while for me to watch. Like it had been out for a while. Like I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it until like 2000, maybe COVID. I want to say maybe that was a COVID movie I watched. Just whenever you eventually just you're bored and you're just like, okay, I guess I'm going to watch a classic movie I haven't seen every day. So I watched it. I won't say that I loved it because it was one of those that just kind of left me in the dust a little bit. I'm like understanding it fully, especially like if you're not fully focused.
That's a movie that you like can't look at your phone at any point. You got to stay locked in.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it all right. I like the cast. You know, I like Nolan, but
I was gonna say I think I just like Christopher Nolan movies a lot.
Yeah. My nights, you know, I gotta say, I don't know what I did to deserve the luck I got last night.
What did we hit?
No, nothing bet wise. Nothing bet wise. Actually, bad luck there.
Yeah.
Actually, bad luck there. I needed 22 points from Cade Cunningham going up against my Hawks, and you know he just. I will say the Hawks, you know, A, Dyson Daniels, but B, the game plan was just to get the ball out of his hands. So they kind of were just double teaming him, which was kind of frustrating because he only had 18 points. And then you just go look at his game log, his recent game log, Sam. You got to go all the way back to November 1st to find a game where he didn't have at least 20, 23 points. Really, 24. Yeah, usually is in the 26, 30, 40 range. But what that felt a little bit like bad luck, but whatever. Hawks ended up losing too. Next night after we played double overtime the night before, so I mean like on the road going to the best team in the East, it was an uphill battle, but lost by 1 point, so that was frustrating. But no, fantasy wise, I got about as lucky as you could get. I lose my right to complain about things. In my big league, I told you there's 10 of us. It's a $300 buy-in, so pretty big pot, pretty fun. That's the one I care about the most. I told you I came into the week playoff wise needing a miracle, and honestly, I had thought I only had like one path to the playoffs, but then I realized like right before halftime that the guy that I thought had no chance of losing is in a dogfight. It's like 76. It was 76.94 to like 74.
That's gross.
And the guy had Wan'Dale Robinson. His team's been really good all year. He scored over 1,500 points all year. Like it's been good, or over 1,600 points. Like it's been good. But yeah, his team completely let him down. So then I was like, I need Wan'Dale Robinson to get like 4 more points, while also I need my guy Drake May to score like 4 more points. And it's like late second quarter, so I'm feeling pretty good. But then, like, you get into the third quarter, Wan'Dale gets his catch. Boom, he's up 0.8 points. I'm like, let's go. And then I just need, Drake May to come through with like 3 more points. And they're winning by like, 18, 16, 7, they're up 23. And I'm like, oh my God. But Mike Vrabel, God bless him, just keeps throwing. I don't know if they were trying to get, Drake May 300 yards or whatever.
MVP stats they're trying to pad.
Good for them. They deserve it. But then, I take the lead and I'm like, okay, no fumble, no interception. And then all of a sudden, Mike Vrabel is still throwing the ball. I don't know if you were watching towards the end, but he's still throwing. Up 15 with like 4 minutes left. I'm like, what are you doing? And he came so incredibly close to throwing a pick six as I had a 1.6 point lead. Like, he threw it inside late. Like, Troy Aikman's on the broadcast like, I'm not quite sure how that's not a pick six. Like, the defender just wasn't necessarily ready for it. And I'm just screaming, Vrabel, no. I feel like McConaughey in Interstellar. No, stop throwing it. Stop throwing it. He throws a touchdown to I believe it was Hunter Henry, I believe it was, but they have a flag, so it gets negated. I'm like, oh, God. So, yeah, he's up 1.8, and then he almost throws a pick six, which would have been the worst fantasy loss of my career maybe. But instead, I win 103.58 to 102.02. My opponent that I needed to lose lost 76.94 to 77.86. So by like a combined 2 points, your boy has qualified for the playoffs.
Big time.
Which
Big
start
time.
this week. Which I had one guy, this guy, there's a new guy in the league. Shout out to Will. He joined the league as the last person. He lost his first game, and then he reeled off 12 straight victories. Yeah, he just completely.
That's too hot going into the playoffs.
Well, that's what he's worried about because his team only scored 91 this week, so they would have been in trouble.
He's going to lay an egg in week 1 of the playoffs.
And he was texting me because I'm the commissioner, and he was like, kind of mad that we're doing the playoffs next week, which I don't know how you guys are doing. Like most of my leagues I didn't change, but this one I did because I don't like doing the week 18 playoffs.
Too many guys sitting.
Right, but it does suck because next week in our playoffs it's 2 weeks. But like Drake May's on a bye, my quarterback, and he's got Christian McCaffrey, and they're on a bye. So it does kind of suck because you would think like in the playoffs you wouldn't have to worry about buys. But I was like, yeah, it's better than worrying about everybody sitting out week 18, ain't it? So I'm going up against a team that's won 12 in a row. That again has been dominant this year. He has scored 1,781 points all year. So like comparatively, my team scored 1,503. So like I'm a big underdog, but we're just happy to be in the dance where we can maybe pull an upset.
That's all you got to do. You just got to get in.
You just gotta have a ticket to the dance. Maybe I can steal a kiss. Who knows? Who knows? He's got a pretty nasty team though. I give this guy credit. He dominated our auction, and that's without even like Lamar Jackson being good this year, and Bucky Irving being hurt the last 2 months. He struck gold with Javonte Williams. Struck goal with George Pickens, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Christian McCaffrey. Like, yeah, the guy's got a loaded roster.
Where the drafts are won. You got to get those guys that nobody else is thinking of reeling off.
And again, that's with Lamar Jackson sucking this year and Brian Thomas Jr. being bad. And I give that guy a lot of credit. Bubba, welcome to the show, my friend. Congrats on beating me in the Station League last night. I was talking about me narrowly surviving. You did beat me. I was a little frustrated by it only because I guess I misread it yesterday and I thought you had the Giants kicker. So at halftime, I'm like, oh man, like this is good. He's only got 1 point, but then I check the score and I'm losing and I'm like, oh no, he had the Patriots kicker. Rats. So congrats to you for beating me. Keeping yourself alive for the playoffs. Like it's a jumbled up mess in the fan run league.
Yeah, the result of Russ and RB, not great. I think RB dropped his total like 25, 26 points.
Yeah, that was a tough week for Team RB. I think he scored 45 points his fantasy team. I think. Yeah, he lost 94 to 46. That's tough. Still got a chance to make the playoffs, but they've lost 4 in a row. They're taking on water.
But not great for Russ to get that. Good for Sam, I believe, took down Tim.
You and Russ, quite the winning streak by both of you. Four in a row for you, 5 in a row for Russ. You guys were both down at the bottom, like where it looked like you might have a chance to finish last place, but now you've both, forced your way into the playoff picture.
He does have a win over me though, so that's not great.
The head-to-head that's not the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker's points scored. So, that's not good for you either. Yeah, I give your team credit for fighting, Bubba, but you got a 38% chance according to the playoff odds.
You're in there in the playoffs right now.
Next week, very crucial battle between me and Mr. William Pattison.
Yeah, Williams kind of rallied. He's got a chance too. I don't really. It's saying that I have a 95% chance, but I don't really feel like it's a 95% chance. I feel like that's a little bit off. I guess I'd
have one more week left.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to have everything go wrong. Like I'm not locked in, but I'm 7-6, so I can't have Russell, Bubba, RB all win outs, like all win next week. While I lose, like I can't. So basically, I got 4 chances at it. As long as one of those 3 teams loses or I win, then I'm in. Somehow, I don't understand. Somehow, none of those teams are playing each other.
Out of who?
RB, Russ, and Bubba. or me. Like, none of those teams are playing each other. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, like I need either Brett to beat Russ, William to beat Bubba, Bob to beat RB, or I just beat Sam, which kind of sucks. They all got, easier opponents where I guess RB doesn't. He's got Bob. Bob's the number one team. But then I got to go up against Sam's team, who's clinched a playoff spot. If you want to rest your guys, get them ready for next week. There's no shame in that.
I was thinking about it, you know.
There's no shame in that. If you want to rest the guys, get ready.
Maybe give a few of them a week off.
Yeah, that's what a real
load
GM
management.
That's what a real coach would do. Give them a little rest. There'd be no shame in that. But big win for Cody this week.
Huge win. Get him out of the cellar.
As he stays alive. If he'd have lost that, he would have been locked into dead last. Now he and Chase are tied for dead last. Cody's 50 points behind Chase, so he needs to win and have Chase lose or outscore Chase by 50 points.
Probably ain't happening.
Probably not going to happen, but he's still alive at least. There's your fantasy recap. But that was nice. Like I said, it felt like a 10% chance at best last night going into it, but it worked. It worked out for me. It's about time the good guys get a little luck. And that was not even me telling you, Sam. My opponent had Deebo Samuel. I don't know if you were watching that Commanders game. He got tackled on the 1-yard line last night or 2 nights ago.
Oh, I know. I had Deebo to score.
Oh, well, that's tough for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good for me, though. Maybe get Drake London back. Who knows? It's going to be a long week. Going to be a long week for Team Reed here. But at least we're alive.
Got to rally your boys. Give them a playoff speech.
We'll catch a break. We'll come back. We'll dive into Josh Heupel, his comments. We got Stats by Will Warren coming up at 8:40 to talk some hoops. Tennessee getting ready to start their non-conference regular games. The tournament's over. The Vegas tournament's over. Now you got a pretty impressive list of non-conference opponents you're going to start running through tonight, starting with Syracuse. We'll talk with him about that. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. Come on, grab a pack. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavor. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues. Every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Timeless traditions start with the ones we love and what we bring home for the season. Bring Inward Half home this holiday. Comfort and performance, made for the journeys you take and the memories you make. For quiet moments or the days you'll remember forever. From performance polos to cozy hoodies, modern apparel for men, women, and kids, there's something for everyone. This holiday, make tradition comfortable. Make it memorable. Make it Inward Half.
We're waiting on Penn State to make a move. It's apparently getting pretty messy as Penn State is at war with the Mormon Church, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think BYU's backing down this easy.
They went out.
That's what it seems like to me.
They're trying to go out and hire BYU's coach. How do you say his last name, Sam?
Sataki.
Kalini Sataki. They're trying to go out and get him. But now I guess the Crumble Cookies CEO is rising to the occasion. He's stepping up. But he also wants everybody to know he's rising to the occasion and stepping up. AKA, they're not going to get outbid when it comes to their head coach, which I think is pretty funny. But also, like, I feel like Kalini Sataki is a good coach, but, like, it feels crazy to me that he's going to come out of this as, like, the second or third highest paid coach in the country, it feels like.
I feel like this coaching cycle has just created 3 or 4 jobs where it's like, it's just real confusing, like, why you're taking the job or just the fit, maybe.
Money.
Obviously money, yeah, but it just a lot of these fits just don't feel right. You don't look at it.
Which ones you talking about? Which ones don't feel right? Because, yeah, I mean, this guy, Kalini Sataki to Penn State does feel weird if that ends up happening. If he stays at BYU with all that money, I think that would probably be a better career choice for him. But who else is on that list, Sam, that just doesn't feel right?
I mean, I guess you could, like, I feel like maybe just I should say, like, fit too. Like, Ryan Silverfield, I just feel like he's going to suck at Arkansas.
I mean, it feels like
I feel like
it kind of to me feels like Arkansas hiring Memphis as coach at least makes sense on paper, though. Now, whether or not that's going to work, yeah, it's a different story. Like Sumrall to Florida, like that's another one that just I don't think that makes sense on paper.
The JMU coach to like UCLA seems weird.
That's all the way across the country, but that guy's a winner, man. Like that guy's a winner, but it's all been like on the East Coast, right? Like, I mean, he's at Holy Cross.
Jim Mora going to Colorado State.
Yeah, that's another one of those. I'm like, is that really an upgrade over UConn, where you have UConn right now? And maybe it is, but like, it felt weird. Maybe it's just like, hey, I don't want to live in Storrs, Connecticut anymore. Like Colorado State, it's pretty out here. But that felt gross. That felt weird. Did you watch any of Lane Kiffin's press conference yesterday?
I tried to get around to it, and I just stopped.
I watched it, and I stopped too. Like, it was very – Lane Kiffin is good online. That's about it. Like, he is not smooth when he talks. It's weird because I think we all think of him as this, like, the gift of gab. Like, he's a good talker. He's smooth. You see his text messages, his Snapchats, his emails. Like, he's wooing the ladies. But, like, I think when you actually put him in front of a camera, he's not very good at the whole public speaking thing.
He almost sounds like antisocial or something.
Yeah, yeah. And, like, he also yesterday seemed like he was on drugs. Don't sue me. I'm not saying he was on drugs. I'm just saying he gave me the vibe. He seemed like he was on drugs. Now, there was some stuff coming out of Ole Miss from the Lanestein files where they were saying he was both a cokehead and addicted to Percocets. So maybe that was in the back of my mind. But just the stuttering over his words, the coughing. I was like, get this man a glass of water. He's got cotton mouth. Get him some water.
At least he's cut out sugar.
And he was basically just stealing somebody went back and looked, and he basically said all the same stuff he said when he got hired at USC. Best job in the country, dream job, family, It was the same stuff. I just found myself like really not liking him again, and really like the LSU pep rally that it was, like where they're basically up there doing victory laps. I get it if you're like the interim AD or whatever, and you're the governor, which it is funny because coming out of the Brian Kelly stuff wasn't the whole talk about like, hey, we're not giving these big contracts anymore. These big, stupid contracts. We thought maybe, Sam, that in college football, we would see coaches get less power. Remember that conversation where it's like, hey, maybe these coaches get less money and they have to save these resources for the NIL budget and all that. The NIL and the revenue split and yada, yada, yada. Nope. It has simply said this is an arms race, and the more you spend, the better you're going to be. So let's keep spending. Good news for you fans. That means they're coming after your pocketbook even more. But, Lane Kiffin aside, the story in the coaching circles was BYU. Satake going, he's not going. Crumble CEO stepping up. Go eat my cookies. We love Crumble Cookies, proud partner of Fan Run Radio. But then that led to Josh Heupel and Chris Lowe, I guess, having an exchange, or Chris Lowe said, hey, are you going to be interested in the Penn State job? And Josh says, no. We didn't get the full context of the quotes, which I thought made it weird and interesting, that like Josh Heupel's statement he put out was just simply, quote, I wouldn't want low expectations. That's part of why I want to be here. We'll win big. Which, of course, when you see that put on a graphic, you start thinking like, wait, is he taking a shot at Penn State? Not having high expectations? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I think it's just him saying, again, Chris Lowe didn't put the question in there, but I think it's just him saying that he knows that the fans are a little restless right now, which I think is fair. It's a fair read. I don't think hot seat is necessarily true, but like, hey, is it fair to say at the very least he's back at square one? Like the goodwill's gone, right?
Yeah.
2022 was fun, but like 23 wasn't that fun. 24 you won, but wasn't very fun. This year wasn't fun. So like the shine is off the Josh Heupel tenure. I think we can all agree on that. And again, that's not us saying we want him fired. I do not want him fired. I do not want him to go to Penn State. I like Josh Heupel. I like the program. I like most of the stuff he says about the program. Like he always puts Tennessee over the Tennessee standard, yada, yada, yada. Like I think he gets it. Now, that's not me saying that he's a perfect coach by any means. Like he's got a lot that I think he needs to improve on. But I did appreciate him coming out and just saying he doesn't want low expectations. That's part of why I want to be here. AK, like, yeah, I know that we got to win a little bit bigger. We got to win some games. We'll win big, he says. Did either one of you have any thoughts on his comments yesterday?
I mean, that's exactly the way I took it, too. I didn't think it was like a shot at Penn State. I just thought it was, hey, I know this place that I'm currently at has very lofty expectations, and I've got those same expectations for myself. And, we're not going to run away from that necessarily. But I do find it funny that, like, the meatiest quote that you get from Josh Heupel all year is after your season ends type of thing.
Well, if it leads to a new Josh Heupel, if he does kind of continue this and just kind of redevelop some edge and gets refocused and re-energized, then I think that's ultimately a good thing. On one hand, you're right. Like it is a little frustrating. Okay, save the tough guy talk. Save this now. You know what I mean? Like it's too late, brother. But at the same time, like the season's over, but his tenure's not over. Like he's still going to be at Tennessee.
And yeah, I mean, maybe it is one of those things that just this is a fork in the road moment where that loss just, drove him up a wall to a point where it's just like, all right, we got to go out there and we're going to go and recruit with our hair on fire during the portal period. And we're going to go out there and make some upgrades to the staff. And, we're not going to let a season like that kind of happen again.
I don't know if we're going to make upgrades to the staff. I don't know. I think anyone that is assuming that we are going to, or at least like really convinced we're going to, I think you're wrong. I think everyone did that last year, and then like nothing happened. And you could say that, like, hey, last year you can't fire Tim Banks after he coached a top 10 defense. I don't care how bad his game plan was against Georgia or Ohio State. Like, I understood that line of thinking. But I think people that are saying that like he's automatically going to get fired, Tim Banks this year, I think is wrong too, because I do think there's some things to point to that kind of excuse the defensive performance. Like, I do think losing your top two corners is tough. I do think having your middle linebacker dealing with double turf toe, and if Carter was just out instead of on the field at 50%, you'd look and say, hey, you didn't have your linebacker out there. I think we should maybe judge it that way because you didn't have an SEC caliber good linebacker out there because he could barely move. The defensive line was banged up. That's not me caping for Tim Banks. That's not me saying he shouldn't be fired. I'm just saying if I'm in that staff meeting, if I'm in that locker room, maybe you look and say, hey, that wasn't necessarily fair. Instead of firing and starting over, let's just make sure we have better, faster players this year. If I'm Josh Heupel, you're going to be loyal to your guys, and you're going to be confident in what you can do and what you guys can do. You're going to look at this year as like, man, that sucked. We lost Nico. We lost our defense. We were a couple plays away from being in the playoff even with that. Let's just load up. Let's get a couple better players. Let's do some culture work. Let's not have Boo Carter here hanging above the program, yada, yada, yada. And the next thing you know, you got the entire staff back. And again, just want to clarify, that's not me saying that I think it should happen or that I think it will happen. I'm simply preparing you for it to possibly happen. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you're going around just waiting for new coordinators, you might not get what you're desiring. I don't want to say like I'll believe it when I see it because, it's easy to fathom. I'm just saying I'm not celebrating or assuming that we are in a coordinator search until something happens. Bubba, did you have any thoughts on Heupel's quotes? Do you have any thoughts on anything we just said about the hype man?
I'm going to take the national narrative here. He's taking shots.
You think he's taking shots? I don't think he's taking shots. Although
I wouldn't want low expectations. That's part of why I'm here. We'll win big.
He doesn't have a southern accent, Bubba. You've heard him talk enough by now. I don't think he's taking a shot, but I will say the best thing about the Penn State hire is the reports out there that Jimmy Sexton is just sticking it to Penn State because James Franklin got embarrassed there, and he doesn't like the way they handled it, and he doesn't like the way they did him, so that basically he is railroading them now in their search.
That man's too powerful.
God bless him.
Kind of hope there's a scandal that finds its way somewhere around that.
I don't think you should talk about a VFL that way. I don't think you should talk about a Vol that way.
Vols help Vols, John.
Well, yeah, and he never really helped us. You know, he's about there with Paul Feinbaum in terms of alumni that I don't actually like, that actually has been like detrimental to the program. That is true. He is a very powerful man. That is true too. But yeah, there's talks out there basically that he is sticking it to Penn State. He is making them squirm. He is making them sweat. And who knows where they end up if Sataki stays at BYU. I feel like if I was them, instead of him, would it not make more sense just to try to hire like Brian Hartline? I think we're going to see fewer and fewer coordinators get jobs just because I think like you need to show that you can run a program. You know, I think we've talked about that this season. Like, I just don't think coordinators are going to have the same golden opportunities given to them in most instances. You're going to just take the Group 5 coach over the coordinator, it feels like. Did any coordinators get hired to any big-time jobs that I missed?
Doesn't really feel like it off the top of my head.
Right? I mean, like, it feels like, UCLA would have been a prime spot for a coordinator to get a first shot. Nope. They went and got JMU's coach. We know Florida did. Kentucky.
Yeah.
They did.
Stein.
I don't know if Kentucky was in a position of power, but they went out and got a coordinator. And that was pretty cool seeing seeing the pictures of him. Did you see that? There were some pictures of him at it looked like a skating party, like for his birthday or somebody's birthday. He's wearing like a Kentucky shirt. That's pretty cool. The romantic side of me when it comes to sports and college football is like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. Like to be a fan of that team when you're 8-10 years old or whatever, and now you're back coaching them. That's something to get fired up about. But yeah, outside of Kentucky, I can't think of really
any. Louisville though.
Say what?
Played at Louisville though.
Yeah, I know, but like maybe he didn't get an offer to Kentucky. I don't know. But like everyone said, he loves Kentucky. Like everyone says he's a Kentucky guy, and like I said, like they found pictures of him in Kentucky gear. I don't know if Kentucky didn't recruit him or whatever, but yeah, he played at Louisville. But I guess he was faithful to the Wildcats in the rivalry. Everybody in the locker room's chanting "Bleep Kentucky," and he's just kind of like, yeah, I guess, yeah, let's go. Meanwhile, he's secretly happy when Kentucky wins. But like, if I'm Penn State, I feel like maybe just go try to take Ohio State's biggest asset away from them.
Would he leave like in conference, you think?
I think that's a good enough job. I think that's like Kirby Smart to Georgia. I know Kirby Smart played at Georgia, but I just mean like, Georgia was seen as a sleeping giant. Like I think Penn State's at a good enough standing. I don't think he would have left for like Michigan State, who hired Pat Fitzgerald yesterday, which feels like a really good hire, feels like a slam dunk. We'll continue the conversation because speaking of slam dunks, we're going to talk some basketball with Will Warren, our friend StatsByWill. Coming up after the break, as we get you ready for Syracuse, we put a bow on Vegas and look to what's ahead for Tennessee. Stick with us right here on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
The following radio theater is brought to you by Men's Pro Knoxville.
Hey, Dad, you want to play football?
No, buddy.
All right.
Pops, want to work out? Maybe later.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tomorrow?
You've got one life, and it's too short for not nows, maybe laters, and tomorrows. If you have ED and performance issues, your family, friends, and even your career has already been affected. Book your discreet evaluation at Men's Pro Knoxville and turn your tomorrows into
today.
Yes! Touchdown!
Come on, one more, Dad. Today! Push, Dad. One more. Come on, push.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tonight.
Call 865-544-8220 or book now in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, for every man in every season of life.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Are you tired of spending hours on laundry and ironing? Let Crown Cleaners handle your dry cleaning so you can handle your business. Our expert team can take care of your clothes, removing stains and wrinkles like they were never there. Whether it's your best suit or everyday attire, we handle it all at Crown Cleaners. Say goodbye to laundry stress and hello to extra free time. Crown Cleaners, Big Orange Country's imperial dry cleaning service since the 1960s. Online at crowncleaners.com.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
All right, let's talk some Tennessee basketball with our boy Will Warren, a.k.a. StatsByWill, a.k.a. a member of the fastest growing, best college basketball coverage at Basket Under Review. Will, hope you had a good Thanksgiving, brother. How are you?
Good. You always give me such a good sell.
You're my boy.
That's one of your greatest skills. You give everybody a great sell.
I put everyone over. It's great.
Mhm.
I put Cody over. I put Seth over. I put you over. I'm making Bubba and Sam stars. I'm just a point guard. I'm Chris Paul out here trying to make people look good and holler at Kim Kardashian.
The distributor.
But Tennessee basketball up to number 13 in the AP Top 25. Too high, too low, just right.
Think about pretty appropriate for what we've seen so far. I could see, a little higher. Tennessee's 12th at some of the nerd sites, 10th, I think, at Torvik. But I mean, they've basically played 3 real games, 1 blowout, and a couple of either-or games. So I think it's a pretty appropriate ranking. Tennessee looks the part of somebody you're going to see in your bracket later this year as a 3 or 4 seed. Maybe doesn't quite have the night-to-night floor you've become used to yet, but as Barnes himself said, the ceiling could be higher because I do agree with him. I don't know that last year's team beats Houston, but I also don't know that last year's team loses to Kansas.
I saw that quote. I like that quote. Rick Barnes not pulling any punches with his team, coaching them, matter-of-factly. I appreciate that. But is it fair to say, Will, because I was pretty frustrated about that game, don't get me wrong. It was bad. But, at the end of the day, is that not maybe something you throw out just as a third game in 3 days type of thing? You're not ever going to play a back-to-back-to-back game ever again.
Right. I mean, the only other time that happens is the conference tournament. And at this point, I think we can all agree conference tournaments largely don't really matter to the bottom line. I mean, when you're playing in them, you want to win, but they clearly don't matter in seeding. But, yeah, I don't take much from the third game. Tennessee, it's probably ideal for the staff to have a game where your first half shows your potential and your second half shows all the things you need to work on. Certainly frustrating as it went down, but Tennessee came in there and got the win they needed to beat Houston. That's, it obviously doesn't matter like the Elite Eight game did, but I think for your program, you need to show that you can beat what a lot of people see as the superior version of your own thing. And so going out and doing that is a pretty big deal, I would say.
Yeah, the win felt bigger than the loss. That's fair to say, right? The Houston win, a resume maker. The Kansas loss, not one that's really going to hurt you. I looked at it more as just missing an opportunity to get another big feather in the cap, notch on the belt type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that, kind of at the start of the season, a lot of people maybe had some questions about what Jalen Carey's production was really going to be. Some foul trouble was kind of an issue there. But then in Vegas, it really felt like he kind of turned a new corner and played some really clean basketball and also kind of gave you a big spark off the bench. What did you kind of see differently out of him out in Vegas?
Well, I felt kind of dumb in retrospect because the reason Tennessee brought him in was because he pants Tennessee in those 2 Vandy games. Who is Tennessee's best national comparison? Houston. I probably should have seen it coming that he would be very good against Houston and against a similar defensive program, though I don't think Kansas's offense is very good, but that's water in the bridge now. Similar team in Kansas. To have those 2 performances is really good. And honestly, against KU, very impressed by his passing, which I hadn't seen in games before. So if that is a real thing going forward, and I know at Vandy, the question was always consistent night-to-night effort, consistent night-to-night rebounding, consistent night to night work in the post and not being quote unquote soft. We hadn't really seen much of that in the first few games this year, and we've seen him go from starting against Mercer to I think 11th man against North Florida or Northern Kentucky. For him to sort of reclaim that spot, and you notice you didn't see, I don't think much of any of Dwayne Brown in Vegas. That's a good thing for Carey to get that spot back, because when he is on, he does give Tennessee a physicality and an offensive post ceiling they don't really have otherwise.
Yeah, Carey jumping out against Houston, it felt like it clicked with me, kind of like I imagine it did with everybody else. But like Rick Barnes got him because of Houston. Like it felt like Rick Barnes went out and said, we need to be more physical. We need to be bruisers. We need some people that aren't going to back down from Houston's front line. Oh, wait, here's Jalen Carey, who threw Zakai Ziegler down inside of Thompson-Boling Arena at Food City Center and really kicked our front line's ass. Let's go get him. Been an uneven start for him, but did Vegas change your mind about him moving forward? Or like you said, is the questions about, his work ethic or consistency, maybe a better way to put it, will that still be out there? Or do you think Tennessee's starting to settle in on their rotation? Because Vegas, you talked about with Dwayne Brown, the 10, 11, 12 man rotation got shrunk down to 8.5 against Houston. And even against Kansas, a team that, was pretty shorthanded, but playing on 3 days rest, Tennessee still didn't really empty the bench there. You really only had, 2 bench players play double-digit minutes. Estrella and Abram got 9 each. Do you think Carey has moved ahead in the rotation? Do you think the rotation's starting to kind of figure itself out? How do you view that as Tennessee gets ready to go to Syracuse tonight?
Kind of a yes to all of that, because they need him to be good. I think it was a good matchup for him, certainly. But the good part of this post-rotation, and I think why they've done it this way, is that you may not have a star. And while I think Estrella was an exceptionally big part of the Houston game, he did have a minutes limitation. You might not have a star in this post-rotation, but it feels like you have a lot of answers for a lot of different things. So I won't be shocked if Carey is a big factor against Florida, for example, a team where you have to be really physical and score on their post players, try and get them in foul trouble. I think Akpara is going to be huge the rest of the year, just as a rim protector and a lob guy, if nothing else. Cade is a great energy big. JP, I think, can have a really high variance game to game, but he has, to me, the best and most diverse offensive skill set of the group. And then you can throw in Brown if perhaps you're not doing so well on the boards, or you just need a guy that can go in there and bully his way to an offensive rebound or two. I like what they've got. And I think I'm seeing the vision a bit better than I was a month ago. Took a couple of games to see it, but I understand why they built it this way. I won't be surprised if Brown falls out, not like permanently, but only becomes a spot player. They're going to have to clear out the guard rotation a bit. Troy Henderson is probably not going to play much in these big games. I am curious to see if and how Ethan Berg separates himself a little bit, because he's had some up and down performances. They've still got questions, but it's becoming clearer is what I would go with.
After what we saw defensively from Bishop Boswell out there in Vegas, do you think any of the roles from either of those guys, of Ethan Berg or Amari Abram, kind of changes with the way it kind of feels like Boswell has taken a hold of that number 2 guard spot?
Yeah, I still think you need those two just because they're better, have more offensive upside than Bishop, but neither can defend like Bishop. It felt a little Meshack-like at times, especially in that Houston game with Boswell out there, which I didn't expect. But with Abram and Berg, Abram had, I believe, 2 really key first half threes against Houston to keep Tennessee alive in that game. Berg had a big one in the Kansas game to extend Tennessee's lead, his only points in Players Era, for the record. So I don't know. I do think one is going to see their minutes diminish, but I don't think both, and I'm not sure who yet. I would lean Abram kind of stays a bigger part just because he's got a little bit more of a two-way game, but you don't really know yet. I think Boswell separating himself has been a really good thing, though. And as we saw, he can shoot a little bit. It's not always consistent, but the shooting stroke looks better than it did last year, and he seems more confident offensively.
Talking with our friend Will Warren, a.k.a. StatsByWill, basketunderreview.com. The Rutgers game saw both Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie go off, but Houston and Kansas saw both of those guys kind of struggle. Gillespie, 4 of 19 from 3 in those 2 games. Nate Ament, 2 for 9. Talking about the front line is great. I love the beefy boys up front that are going to help, Tennessee be physical. But this team is only going to go as far as Nate and Jacoby take them. How would you grade their performance in Vegas? And do you have cause for concern, or is it just a, hey, Houston's defense is really good, Kansas was the 3rd game in 3 days type of thing?
It's kind of funny that we feel like they didn't play very well because in each game, one of the 2 got to 20. Yeah. Which is pretty good. But I would agree. I mean, Gillespie, I think, is going to have the higher game-to-game ceiling, but the lower game-to-game floor, simply because he can't get to the line or get to the rim quite like Ament can. So I really thought in the second half against KU, and probably the whole game, but especially that second half as the lead dwindled, it was clear to me Gillespie's legs were dying out a little bit. He had been asked to play a lot of minutes. He was a huge part of that Houston win. I think he played 75 of a possible 80 between those 2 games. So I wouldn't be shocked if he just kind of lost it a little bit. But with Ament, he was able to keep Tennessee going in that game. And I know he struggled the second half somewhat, but 8 for 8 from the free throw line, gets fouled a lot, really good rebounder. I agree that those 2 are going to take Tennessee as far as they can. But it was nice to see that, and we really haven't seen this yet, both of them have a bad game at the same time. I know like they weren't super efficient or super great outings, but each of them scored 20 in at least one of those games, which was nice to see. And so if that can stay the same, Tennessee's night-to-night floor is going to stay high, which they really need, because I think defensively this group is not going to be as elite as past years, but the trade-off is worth it because the offense we've seen so far is honestly pretty good.
Well, what do you see when you see Syracuse tonight? Another team that I think played pretty better than I thought in Vegas. Syracuse looked better than I thought. I won't say they played well or anything out there because I don't think they really got too many good results on their favor, right? Did they not go? Did they go over 3 out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought they played better than I thought, taking Houston to overtime and looked maybe like they have some spark. What do you see when you look at Syracuse and the way Tennessee matches up with them?
Well, Tennessee is going to be a little fortunate to draw Syracuse without Donnie Freeman again, who's Syracuse's best player. Really good 2-way star for them. But I like what I see from Syracuse defensively for the first time in several years. They don't play zone anymore. It's a true man-to-man. So they've gotten rid of the 2-3, which I find interesting. But really good at the rim. William Kyle, formerly of UCLA, has been a really strong rim protector for them. Doesn't foul too much either, which I like to see. Their backcourt just seems more locked in than I recall. They move better, switch better. I think kind of moving out of the zone and moving more towards a more switchable lineup. Not that you want Kyle and a point guard or whatever, but 1 through 4 can all handle those matchups quite well. I don't love their offense, to be honest. I think if you watch the Houston game and the Kansas game, you saw them miss a lot of free throws. It's just because they can't shoot. It's not a good shooting offense. They don't really move the ball very well. Keon Anthony is getting a lot of headlines. I can't proclaim to enjoy watching him play. So, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But sans Freeman, they just don't really have that go-to guy. They've dumped it down to Kyle a lot, so I wonder if he might be their focus here to get some of UT's front court in foul trouble. But I think this is going to be a gas tank game of sorts where Cuse can keep up for a good while. Nathan George has been, kind of hot and cold at times, but he moves the ball well and can get inside. Kyle is good. If this is the game where Nate Kings or JJ Starling or even Tyler Betsy hit threes, this could be close. But Tennessee simply has more depth. It also is going to help Tennessee that Syracuse is really bad at rebounding, like below water, despite not playing a very good schedule so far. So I won't be surprised at all if Tennessee really owns the boards, really owns the front court battle here. And it's sort of like a slow bleed out game.
3 tough games for Tennessee here over the next 2 weeks against a lot of quality opponents. What do you kind of need to see the most out of Nate Ament's game in terms of progression over these next 3 to kind of continue to see that slow build as you kind of get closer to SEC play?
I think I'd like to see him keep going downhill. Don't be afraid of contact. Not that he's been afraid yet, but we've seen him resort to some pull-up mid-range twos, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind him taking those, but those should be, for him, I think, the last resort. I don't want those, 16, 14 seconds left on the shot clock. That's the last shot of a possession you can generate. He's got to keep going downhill and getting opponents in foul trouble, because as of now, Tennessee doesn't really have another guard or wing that can do that. Gillespie can get to the and take his runners and floaters, and they're pretty good, but he's not really a foul magnet. He's not really your SGA type. Ament is that, and I think especially against Illinois, who's run through some injuries so far, they have one of the Avicic brothers available usually, not usually both. If you can get one of those two in foul trouble, you're in business. So I think he's going to be a really big key for me, just continuing to get to the foul line. I guess over the next three, if I were to put a timer at it, and I don't love this for watchability, but I like it for Tennessee, 25 or more free throw attempts over the next three games. I want to see that. If you can get to 25 or more, Tennessee could very well go 3-0.
At Syracuse, neutral site, Illinois, home for Louisville. Tennessee's record at the end of those three games is what?
Just out of those three or over?
Well, I mean, either way, we can do the math. We're 7-1
yeah.
now, so are we 10-1, 9-2?
I think you have to be at least 9-2. You gotta. I want at least 9-2. I don't mind if they split the Illinois and Louisville games. Those are two really strong opponents. You're going to be favored, I would say, in all three. Law of averages would imply 2-1, but I think I would put it like this: if you want a 1 or a 2 seed, which I know a lot of people obviously do, you want to go 3-0 and be 10-1. If you're okay just wearing home uniforms in the round of 32, being a top 4 seed, 2-1 is fine. But I would also argue you kind of want to get these games now, and the Louisville game especially is a really rosy spot, given you have, I think, 9 full days off, something like that. It's a long
Saturday to Tuesday. Yeah, you get a nice break. So
I'm assuming that's finals related.
Yeah, the Kansas loss makes me want to go 3-0 here. I think if you'd beaten Kansas, I think I'd have been fine with 2-1, but you kind of need to make up a little ground that you lost. Real quick on the way out, Will, anything in the SEC stand out to you so far? Anything you want to note?
I'm really afraid Vanderbilt looks awesome.
It's the last damn thing I need after this football weekend.
Yeah. Not really pleasant seeing them demolish a St. Mary's defense that basically never gets got. They're just so fundamentally sound, and it looked like Vandy was playing, Arkansas Pine Bluff or whoever. It didn't really matter. So their offense is legitimate. I think it's one of the 3 or 4 best in America. Defensively, I don't really buy it yet. I think they're going to give up a lot of points to some teams, but they kind of, I know this is going to sicken you, so feel free to mute. They give off some 2022 Tennessee football vibes, and that the offense might be so good that the defense doesn't matter. So I worry that we're going to have to deal with good Vanderbilt for most of the season.
Stats by Will. Give him a follow. Basket under review. Go read his work. We'll talk to him again maybe next week to recap a huge week of Tennessee basketball. Will, appreciate you as always, brother.
Thanks for having me on.
Hour 1 of the books. Hour 2 coming at you. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee football. Fans. Fan Run Radio.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood, but did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Track's batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
Scottie Pippen
7 a.m.
reportedly,
to
quote,
10 a.m.
beyond livid at Michael Jordan for betrayal in The Last Dance.
You're listening to Talk Sports.
He's upset. You have Horace Grant ripped MJ. La. If MJ had a grudge with me, let's settle it like men. He then went on to talk about the accusation of being called a snitch. Horace Grant said, well, if I'm a snitch, what is MJ for airing out the 84 Bulls and their cocaine circus? What does that make him?
A hypocrite. Airing every day
from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Horace said he's the snitch. Scott Burrell, that was heartbreaking to watch, to see a leader, to go at guys like that. I understand in terms of practicing, you have to push and shove here and there, but outright punching and things of that nature and calling them B's and H's, that wasn't called for.
1340 WKGN.
What are H's?
I would imagine hose.
Hose?
Yeah, like for yard work.
Why would he call his teammates hose?
That's an insult people use.
It is?
Yeah.
Men to other men?
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling you that. You a hoe.
Been a big week for men calling other men hoes.
Fitting.
You had obviously the dust up of Lane Kiffin and the reporter. You had did you see the 49ers game where I guess somebody from Cleveland, I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Myles Garrett. That's the only guy in Cleveland I know besides Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Sampson. I don't really know too many people on the Browns, but called Juwan Jennings a hoe. Did you see that?
Okay, yeah.
So Juwan's lucky that all I got was a punch in the groin last week. Surprised that somebody hasn't punched him in the face. So I guess he is, rising up people's lists in terms of annoyance, which is kind of funny. Let's kick off hour 2 live at the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Drink the light, refreshing White Claw Hard Seltzer responsibly. Shout out to our boys and girls over at Cherokee Distributing for helping us out locally, keeping us on the air, and delivering fresh, delicious product. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older. Let's hit some hour 2 headlines. What you got?
Some more head coaching hires around the SEC as Kentucky has made it official with Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein to become their new head coach, giving him a 5-year contract. Will be replacing Mark Stoops after 13 seasons. He is expected to still call the offense for Oregon during the college football playoff and will join Kentucky after that run, basically. But like we were talking about earlier in the show, a Kentucky native, definitely a guy that will, for Kentucky fans, hopefully bring some juice back to that program, as he has been the Oregon offensive coordinator since 2023, and they've been averaging pretty much 35 plus, near 40 a game. So we'll see if they can inject some life into the Kentucky offense that has had anything but life over the past couple of years.
So when you watch Oregon, do you feel like they have like a good offense, like a good innovative offense? Do we feel like this guy's a stud? Because I got to be honest, I hadn't really even been thinking about Oregon's offensive coordinator before he was linked to this job.
Whenever I watch Oregon, they always have a special teams play that feel like makes their offense look better than they actually are, type of thing. It's almost like watching the Titans. It's like, hey, we scored 17 points today, but 7 of them were on a Chimere DK punt return or something like that. Like, we only scored 10.
That's not a good sign when you tell me that a team reminds you of the Titans. I don't think I'd want to hire anybody associated with that.
More of just like they always have a special teams play.
Yeah, special teams or defense. Okay. I mean, if you're Kentucky, he's young. He's been associated with a good program, a good recruiter. He wants to be there. What the hell else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, you had to do something different. He'll probably fail because it's Kentucky football, but he might not. I think we all said Clark Lee was probably going to fail because he was at Vanderbilt, and he hasn't. So
that's true.
We'll see. We'll see if this guy can at least be more fun for them. I hope he fails because I don't want Kentucky to be good.
Speaking of failures, the Giants benched Abdul Carter yesterday at the start of the game. Was benched because of tardiness. The second time in 3 weeks that the rookie linebacker has had to have been disciplined. Mike Kafka, their interim coach, said it was his decision. Sat out 2 drives. Patriots scored on both. By the time that he was in the game, they were already down 17-0. They asked him after the game why he was disciplined for the second time in 3 weeks. Bleep happens. I'm not going to get into details. Bleep happens.
What's your take on this?
It's your job, man. I mean, like, I feel like you can kind of get a pass at some point in college maybe, but like all you got to do is show up to your team meeting on time. You're getting paid a lot of money to go play football. Like, just make it to the meeting on time.
Red flag? Like, do you get rid of him? I mean, like, you can't.
It's starting to become a red flag. I wouldn't say you get rid of him. But
yeah.
Like, I think that does show, like, does this guy really care about our team type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what you do because he's obviously, like, a valuable part there. Or at least, like, he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you also got to kind of get guys to fall in line. Like, you can't let anybody be bigger than the team. Like, I think that is, like, your locker room, your culture in football is just so important. I feel like, and you got to protect it.
I feel like he's kind of taken advantage of like not a lot of organization over there with just like an interim head coach and, you know, still waiting to see who they're going to hire after this. He's probably just like, it's a free for all this year, whatever. I think that's the wrong mentality, but
I mean, it feels that way for sure. Yeah. I mean, it feels like he's like, what are they going to do? Fire me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like, is him just saying that they're not going to get rid of me. Oh, well.
Also in the game yesterday, Jackson Dart takes another just massive hit after he had been out for a concussion for the past couple weeks.
That guy's kind of a moron, huh?
Yeah, he said, it's football. He said, no, look, I understand the question, but this is football. I'm going to get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. I feel like I've played this way my entire life. It shouldn't be a shocker to anybody if you followed me my career. We're not playing soccer out here. You're just going to get hit. Things happen. It's just part of the game. But that hit last night, like, you can't continue to take those if you're a quarterback.
Especially since you're already coming off of a concussion.
He got smoked.
He got thrown 10 yards. Like, his body went 10 yards. Someone called it a cartoon collision, and that's what it felt like.
And any defensive player is just loving that, seeing a quarterback still in bounds.
Especially a young, brash one running around with this, diamond chain on. Like they don't like seeing the Jackson Dart hype. Yeah, of course they're going to take any shot they can at him.
Like this guy left his feet to go make that hit. I do kind of miss those hits in the NFL, though.
Yeah, this weekend I was watching football and I was like, man, I'm tired of seeing the blocks where they just throw their hands up and turn their backs into them. I'm like, man, I don't necessarily want everybody to get CT and have their brains scrambled, but I do miss a good blindside block. Like we should be able to lay some people out. Like there should still be some decleaters here every now and then. Like if I can size you up and you're just running all willy nilly towards my guy, like I should be able to lay you out. But alas, we don't have that anymore. I miss it, but we don't have it anymore.
Did you watch Dylan Brooks talk trash to LeBron last night?
No, I saw a headline. I saw LeBron basically going Angel Reese last night, trying to keep her double-double streak alive. LeBron was out there trying to keep his 10 points.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it was sad. Like, he's old. Father time comes for everybody. Like it is something that will.
Have we hit the wall?
I think we hit it a couple years ago where he's not going to have it every night. You know what I mean? Like he's old. And Dylan Brooks, look, the Suns, they've been a surprise this year. I thought they were going to be a tanking team, a trash team. They actually aren't. And look, I think Dylan Brooks, as far as I'm concerned, his standing in the league is better now than it was a couple years ago, just because I think when you look at Dylan Brooks leaving the Grizzlies, I think that was the decline of the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, I think he's the one that kind of had them where they weren't just a bunch of divas. Like, I think John Moran, if you go back and look, the year they had Dylan Brooks was the year that they were so good in the West, and he was talking trash, and they were doing all this. And then Dylan Brooks leaves, they scapegoat him, and now all of a sudden Josh has been nothing but a headache, and they've been soft and embarrassing. I think Dylan Brooks, look, if you listen to this show, if you listen to me, he is the type of player that I love. Bishop Boswell, Jermaine Meshack locally, Draymond Green, the guys that do the dirty work and don't care about necessarily statistics, but just play winning basketball. That's Dylan Brooks, except lately he's been on a little bit of a scoring heater. He dropped 33 last night on the Lakers. Dropped 27 on Saturday against the Nuggets. So, the scoring has been there. He averaged 22 points for the entire month of November. He's bringing some toughness to the Phoenix Suns, and I do think that they are thriving off of that. And I think they're overperforming their expectations because of that. But yeah, as far as LeBron goes, you asked if he hit the wall. Yeah, it's over for him as a top 10 player. You could probably say it's over for him as a top 20 player. Now, that doesn't mean that when it comes time for the playoffs and it slows down and there's a little bit more rest, that you'd take 20 players in a series before LeBron, but night in, night out, that's kind of over. Last night was his worst game of his season so far, but he's kind of morphed into hey, I'm going to most nights just run the second unit and I'm going to pass. I'm going to be like a basketball genius, aka like Magic Johnson when he came back from the AIDS. I'm just going to get in the post here and I'm going to kick out the shooters. That's kind of what LeBron's been doing, but he's got this 10-point streak that he's trying to keep alive, and last night he was hunting it and in there late trying to get it. It was kind of sad.
John Summerall introduced at Florida yesterday, talking about kind of the hires on his staff. He said, well, I don't hire my friends. Honestly, when I took my first head coaching job, I lost some friends. They were like, I thought we were buddies. And I said, we are, but that doesn't exactly mean that you're the right fit here.
What'd you make of that?
Everything that I saw of John Summerall's introduction yesterday makes me think that he is going to be pretty good there.
So he won you over like the Florida fans. All the Florida fans are like, we're done. If we don't get Lane Kiffin and we hire this damn Tulane coach, we're done. I'll never support. And then I saw every one of them yesterday. Actually, we're in on this guy. He's a football maniac.
He just seems authentic. Billy Napier just seemed like a robot.
Okay. All right. I didn't watch, so I have no take on it.
Oh, did you see during the sideline at Ohio State, Michigan, apparently the Ohio State headsets were having some communication problems, a couple blackouts during the Michigan game, apparently.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Caused them to not be able to communicate, I guess, with their coaches up in the booth for a little bit. Michigan just can't steal signs, trying to cut comms, I guess.
How do you feel today if you're a Michigan fan? They came out in that first quarter against Ohio State, and it looked like, oh, God, here we go again. They go on a long drive. They get a field goal. The next thing you know, boom, a turnover. You're like, oh, my God, are they really going to do it again? And then they were pretty much lifeless after that. They scored, I think, 3 points after that moment, and Ohio State just absolutely dominated them.
I was texting my buddies during that game, and I called Bryce Underwood APAC Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, or, I mean, like, I saw some comparisons to Nico, just another 5-star that, like, it does kind of make me worry about just these 5-star quarterbacks coming up. Like, I don't know what the right thing to do with them is. Like, do you sit them for a while and let them, like, develop and get better? Do you invest in them? Because, like, Michigan went out and spent a whole bunch of money on Underwood, but, like, they haven't gotten a return on their investment. They're afraid to let him throw the ball.
And it does feel like the good freshman quarterback of years past were, like, in the past era of college football where you could kind of just stack a roster where it's like, hey, you might have a true freshman quarterback who maybe has some growing pains, but you've got 5-star talent all across your starters, and you got 5 and 4s as your second and third stringers. But now, like, the distribution isn't as, you can't stack a roster as much. And so, like, you need a quarterback who can go play instantly instead of a guy who maybe needs some time.
Yeah, that's a good point, because when I think of freshman quarterbacks, I guess really like of modern era, I think of Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Hurts, and Alabama, of course, loaded during Jalen Hurts' time there. Clemson loaded during Trevor Lawrence's time there. There's a reason that probably worked and made sense, but like Michigan should have a good roster to where they look good against other teams, but like I guess maybe like you said, the parity is just so wide now and the talent pool is just so shared because everyone can pay money and get these guys. Yeah, maybe the day of freshman quarterbacks is dead, but like Bryce Underwood
sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if he sucks. I never see, like, whenever I watch, they don't let him throw the ball, which maybe that means he sucks, but like I don't know if he actually sucks or like they're just coaching Jim Harbaugh type of football, like, hey, we're going to line up and run and play defense, and it's just not working. Which, I mean, we say it's not working, but they did go 9-3, so maybe with them it did work. Maybe with them it's just like, hey, he's a freshman, we went 9-3. That's good enough. He'll be better next year. That's why I asked you, like, what you think they feel like, because if I was a Michigan fan, I'd be like, man, our coach isn't very good, and this quarterback does not have it, and we're just treading water. We've slipped.
I think I'd be wanting to fire Sharon Moore if I was a Michigan fan.
I think I would be too, but it feels kind of crazy to say that after 9-3, but I think I would be too. I do wonder, like, if he goes into the season like on a hot seat, like what he has to do next year.
Too late to the cycle to do it this year, but
yeah,
I think he's definitely on the hot seat for next.
Well, it's one of those things, like you go 9-3 with a freshman quarterback, okay, but like what are you going to do in year 2? And if you don't see the growth in year 2, which would be his year 3, yeah, maybe at that point you just agree to part ways. But I feel like Michigan's lying to themselves if they act like they're happy with where things are post Harbaugh. We'll talk some NFL coming up after the break. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for. including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
The following radio theater is brought to you by Men's Pro Knoxville.
Hey, Dad, can we play football?
No, buddy.
All right.
Pops, want to work out?
Maybe later.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tomorrow?
You've got one life, and it's too short for not nows, maybe laters, and tomorrows. If you have ED and performance issues, your family, friends, and even your career has already been affected. Book your discreet evaluation at Men's Pro Knoxville and turn your tomorrows into
Today.
Yes! Touchdown!
Come on, one more, Dad.
Today!
Push, Dad. One more. Come on, push.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tonight.
Call 865-544-8220 or book now in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, for every man in every season of life.
Nice flex by Will Warren on the video, showing off all his medals from his marathons. It's a good move by him.
I noticed that last week. It's a lot of running.
He's a runner, man. He's a runner. Let's talk some football. Last night, the Patriots continue rolling. Like, it does feel like they are running away with that division and in turn positioning themselves really well for a 1 seed and first round bye in the playoffs. Bubba, Sam, are you buying them as legitimate Super Bowl contenders?
I mean, I guess you have to at this point. I've been trying to say that they're fake and they're frauds, but you can only play who's in front of you, and they beat just about everyone that's in front of them. I've always been a big Drake May guy, too, so that's like the one thing that I can't enjoy about the Patriots.
Bubba, you buying them as contenders?
I mean, I guess so. I took their under on season totals, and they obviously surpassed that. So, sky's the limit for them. Space is the place.
I buy them as a good team. I don't, man, it just feels crazy to say that you don't trust a team that's 11-2 of being an actual Super Bowl contender. But like between Mike Vrabel at home in the playoffs with stakes and just the idea that like Drake May's in year 2, I can't full-fledged give them the stamp of actual contender.
It's tough because it's like I don't trust their offense a lot, like in terms of like just name value. But they just keep finding ways because it's like
they move the ball, man.
Henderson, like he's not guaranteed to give you 100 yards out there. And then also like when Mac Hollins is one of your top guys, it's interesting.
I don't know how they lost to the Raiders in week 1. Like that is one of those that we look back on and we'll be like, how the hell did that happen? I know we talk about week 1 being a liar, but like the Patriots scored 13 points at home against that Raiders team. Like that's crazy to me, like knowing what we know now. The Raiders suck and Drake May and the Patriots are very good.
It's just the fact that they're that 1 seed to me. Like,
yeah,
if they were the 2 and you had to go maybe play like a team like the Bills or the Chiefs or someone that's going to like try and sneak in and then back in that has a playoff experience. Like, to me, I wouldn't be buying them as much.
Maybe this is going to be perfect for Vrabel, where he gets to be home and be the underdog because he thrives in that underdog role. So like maybe he does take them. He's going to win Coach of the Year though. You know, we put a parlay in here on.
You think that's a guarantee?
No.
Like if the Bears keep rolling, I feel like Ben Johnson has a decent shot.
Yeah, I won't say it's a guarantee, but I feel like he's now the heavy favorite
for sure. But like
he was 10-1, you know, a couple months ago whenever we put a parlay together, and I'm like, man, that looks great. But then I look and I see I got my boy Puka as Offensive Player of the Year, and then he got hurt and that died, so that's cooked. But no, Ben Johnson, sure, and you know Shane Steichen, you know maybe there's some options out there, but I feel like Vrabel is a media darling, and I feel like right now they are on such a win streak. Of course, it depends on how they finish the year. They get a bye week, and then they get the Bills. Then they finish at Ravens, at Jets, Dolphins. So, like, it feels like looking at their schedule, they have 2 losses at most. They should win at the Jets. They should beat the Dolphins. Even if they drop the Bills and the Ravens, which I don't think they drop both of those, like, that's hard for me to say that 13-4 in year one, while Drake May has taken such an ascension, it's hard for me to say that that's not Coach of the Year material. Because Ben Johnson, what was the Bears' record last year? The Bears were like a 6 or 7 win team last year, right? Or am I wrong there?
Maybe like 5.
Is that too high? 5? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying the Bears are 9-3 right now, and they've still got the Packers twice, the Niners, and the Lions. Like, if you go out there and you're a 12-5 team with that schedule, I think that's just as I think you can compare Vrabel and Johnson.
You can for sure, and they might. He might steal it from him. They might do like a co-coach of the year thing or whatever. But like the Patriots, if they went from 4 wins to 13 and had a 9-win turnaround while getting like the 1 seed. Now, maybe if the Bears hold on and win this division, you know, like Ben Johnson, of course, is going to be right there. I'd say he has the second best odds. Yeah, they went 5-12 last year.
I don't think he's going to win it, but like I think the Bears are going to drop it 3 games here down the stretch.
Yeah,
They've
but I thought
tough finish.
I think people thought they were going to lose to the Eagles, and they dominated them.
Yeah.
Like, what Ben Johnson does with those running backs in that run game, it's pretty damn impressive.
That's what the Titans are missing.
To have both of those guys. How do you say the other one's name? Manunga. I like how you've become my default name guy. I don't know if I just get old or I just I've lost my confidence, but like I'm scared to say people's names.
I think you stopped caring a little bit.
I stopped caring, but also like I also don't like mispronouncing people's names. Manunga and DeAndre Swift, like those guys, that's a really good 2-man duo, especially when you combine it with Ben Johnson's creativity. You know, I was watching some film breakdown of what they did to the Eagles, and just with the motion, the play actions, and the pulling and the cutbacks, like it'd be hell to be on that defense trying to play linebacker. And I think there's a reason both of those guys ran for 120 yards against the Eagles.
Yeah, running it 47 times for 280 against the Eagles is crazy.
I feel like if I asked you that same question about the Bears, you'd say no, though, right? Like in terms of, I know that's not the tiebreaker for Coach of the Year, but like you view the Patriots as a threat. When I ask you if you think of the Bears as a Super Bowl threat, you probably all say no, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though they're first in the NFC North and they're tied with the Rams and Seahawks for first in the NFC altogether. They've won 5 in a row. Not as long of a streak, of course, as the Patriots' 10-game win streak, but the Bears are doing very similar things.
They got to go beat the Packers in Lambeau this weekend for me to think that they're like a legitimate team this year.
And that's fair. And you know, just looking at the Patriots again, they did do that to the Bills, you know, earlier this year, going and beating the Bills in Buffalo. Anything else stand out to you from the NFL weekend? We didn't really dive into that at all yesterday. It's a weird one whenever you have 3 Thanksgiving games and a Friday game. And
all the good teams played.
Yeah, and a Monday night game that doesn't really matter. Like it was almost like Sunday was kind of a secondary thought.
I mean, I feel like the biggest takeaway from at least just the Sunday games was how the Panthers played against the Rams.
The Panthers are frisky.
They're fun.
They're frisky. Bryce Young has saved his career, and you know, I talked about my lucky fantasy I needed the guy started the Rams defense, and the Panthers putting up all his points knocked the Rams defense down. That's what got me in the playoffs. Thank you, Bryce Young. Thank you, Chuba Hubbard. But yeah, that was an impressive win for the Panthers. I still don't trust them at all on the road.
Yeah.
Against, teams with a pulse outside of like Atlanta, who sucks, but like send them, to the playoffs and let them win the division and play at home. I think that'd be a frisky first round game. They still get the Buccaneers twice. They still get the Bucs twice at home on December 21st and then on the road week 18. So like that division's going to come down to those two games pretty much. The Panthers are at the Saints this weekend. Feels like a game they're actually going to lose, knowing the Panthers, but them shutting down, or at least getting the pick six and doing enough against that Rams defense, getting the stop at the end to win that game was pretty fun. I still trust the Rams, of course. That's just kind of a blip on the radar, but there was some bad weather in that game as well. But the Panthers are a legitimate team. Nothing else really stood out. The Steelers are cooked. They're not very good. That's a pillow fight for that division between the Steelers and the Ravens. That's gross. The Broncos continue to do their dumb thing where they just win close games. They can't beat anybody down, but they do win these games. They're 10-2. Let's play the same game. Sam, do you buy them as a Super Bowl contender?
Absolutely not. I buy the Patriots much more than I buy the Broncos.
Bubba, do you buy the Denver Broncos, who are 10-2, as Super Bowl contenders? They've won 9 in a row.
I do.
Yeah?
Their defense is crazy.
I don't know, man. Marcus Mariota had them beat.
A lot of hard hitters on that team.
There is some hard hitters on that team, but if Mariota went down the field twice on them for game-tying touchdowns.
Mariota, Heisman guy.
He did win a Heisman. That is true.
We gave up on him too early.
Look, I would be lying, Sam, if I said watching them that there wasn't a part of me. It's like, man, it's unfortunate that he lost feeling in his arm for those couple of years because, like, he does still have some things that you kind of look for in a franchise quarterback. He's tough, the mobility.
He would have panned out at a different team, I think.
Yeah, probably.
The Traylon Burks catch, too. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, but that was still like the only catch he had of the game, right?
Yeah.
But yes, Traylon Burks, catches a big touchdown in the back. They're calling it Odell Beckham Jr.-esque, which felt a little hyperbolic, seeing how Odell Beckham Jr.'s was. What part of what made that crazy was that was like 50 yards down the field versus like a goal line fade.
Catch, yeah. I just don't trust Bo Nix, like, at all.
No, I don't either. And yeah, I mean, like, again, not to make this whole show about my fantasy team and my big fantasy comeback, but like, I have a decision this week because I told you Drake May was on a bye. I had Bo Nix. He was supposed to be my franchise quarterback. But of course, Drake May took him over about week 3 and hasn't looked back. But I got Drake May on a bye. So, like, I don't really want to play Bo Nix, even against a pretty bad Raiders team. I think I'm headed to the waiver wire instead of Bo Nix because I don't trust him either.
Who's better on waivers?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Again, not to make this about my fantasy team, but like, would you rather have Bo Nix at Vegas or Baker Mayfield at home against the Saints?
Honestly,
Carolina, I guess, on a bye week. So I guess Carolina, New Orleans is in 2 weeks. You'd rather have Bo Nix, okay?
Just the Raiders are awful.
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, yeah, I dig Brissett. He's on waivers?
Yeah.
I mean, he throws the ball like 65 times a game.
I know, but he's playing the Rams. They could easily kill him.
Or he's just playing comeback a lot and he's
I
got
know.
to throw it.
I know. Sam Darnold. I mean, Trevor Lawrence against the Colts. I mean, there's a J.J. McCarthy. No, I'm just kidding. I would never have J.J. McCarthy, but there are a couple options. But yeah, Bo Nix, that question there. Bubba, what'd you make of your Colts? Losing at home to the Texans in a pretty big game, dropping out of first place in that division.
We've got Daniel Jones out here with the broken freaking leg. Can't get it done, though. I don't know. Next week's going to be interesting. There's a lot of matchups for the 1 seeds. Obviously, with us playing the Jags, that'll be really, really interesting.
Another edition of Buy or Sell. Sam, the Indianapolis Colts are the Super Bowl contender. Are you buying or selling?
I'm selling all that stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels that way, right? Bubba, do you still buying them as a Super Bowl contender?
We're a wild card, brother.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough stretch for us.
What was the update on Sauce Gardner? On his Achilles? Did we have one? Because he was in a walking boot. Did he? I don't think he tore it. There was a concern early in the game against the Texans that he had maybe tore his Achilles. I don't think that happened. But like, do we get an update on his injury? Is he out? Is he going to be around? Do we know?
I thought I had seen something that it was just like a calf strain.
Okay. I saw him in a walking boot, so that'd be weird for a calf, but I guess just call it that and just put him on there and it'll be fine. But
avoiding the IR, it says. So
the Jags beat the Titans. They were able to take first place in the AFC South. I don't think that we need to play that game for them, right? We're selling the Jaguars as a contender, right?
I think the Texans are going to win that division.
Do you buy the Texans as a actual contender? Because that defense is really good, man. That defense is really good. They still have held their opponents under 200 points for the season. They're the only team in the NFL that can say that. Now they've only played 12 games, whereas like the Patriots have played 13, but like no one else is really even close to being under the 200 points that I see.
Yeah, I think that defense is nasty. I think they got weapons, obviously, with that offense that when they do flash are super, super talented guys. Can Stroud just kind of do enough to go win a game? Like, I feel like he does not have to go be a game breaker with this defense. They just got to go have him be a game manager.
They've allowed 198 points. The Broncos in the AFC are second best with 218. In the NFL, the second best, and the best in the NFC is the Rams at 210. So, yeah, like the Texans defense on paper looked really good, and they have done it. It's just been the offense that's been the problem. Yeah, you hope if you're a Texan supporter that maybe C.J. Stroud could kind of figure things out. Maybe him and Nico Collins can get back on that connection where they, for a while, 2 years ago, it looked like they might be the second, third, fourth best duo in the NFL, or at least like a top 5 duo when it came to quarterback wide receiver combo. That hasn't really felt the same over the last year and a half.
I think he just has to ignore Higgins and Noel.
He does like throwing to he does like throwing to those guys too. And they still have just down there the Chiefs lose to the Cowboys. What do you make of the Cowboys?
Stock's going up.
Stock is going up. I feel like if I'm the Cowboys, I would maybe I feel like the Cowboys should really regrets probably really kicking themselves for dropping that Monday Night Football game to the Cardinals. 27-17. Like, that Cowboys offense had been so explosive all year. It's been explosive since then. Like, it's been good. Just kind of inexplicably, they let Jacoby Brissett go in there and dice them up, and they couldn't move the ball. They kept fumbling. They couldn't quite, break through and score. Otherwise, they would have won, I believe, if they'd won that game, they'd have won 5 of their last 6. They'd be in really good position. Now they head, on Thursday. We get the nice Thursday double dip where, the Cowboys and Lions or the Cowboys and a good team play that Thanksgiving game, and then Amazon's like, hey, we get them on Thursday night. That's a pretty big game in Detroit between the Cowboys and the Lions, who are now both just kind of fighting for their lives when it comes to a wild card spot. The Lions have lost their entire, room for error. They're not getting the help they thought they were going to get from Frank Ragnow as he showed up with a torn hamstring.
How tough does that guy have to be to just be going through his day-to-day and not know that he has a grade 3 hamstring tear?
I'm curious as to did he not do any running before he signed on to go?
No chance.
But he's like, hey, I'm coming out of retirement. Was he just going to show up out of shape and work his way back into shape? What was the plan there?
I guess. He still has 2 more years on his contract too, apparently. So maybe it was hey, you get back in shape. If I can play at the end of the season, great. We'll see how I'm feeling at the end of it. Maybe we go into the year next year. I don't know. Maybe just got bored at home.
I think if I'm the Lions, I would probably take this as a good sign that he's going to come back next year.
You'd think.
Maybe, you get this hamstring healthy and he's got the itch. He'll come back and play. It's not like the Lions are like Super Bowl windows closing and it's like do or die for them this year. So like if he was wanting to play this year, you'd think he'd want to come back and do it the upcoming year. But yeah, the Lions are 7-5, the Cowboys 6-5-1. That's a do or die game for both teams. That should be pretty fun on Thursday night. There's your NFL recap. No power rankings this week. Cody's out of town. If you had to put your top 5 together on a fly, Sam, do you have anybody or any takes you want to put out there? Like best team still the Rams, or are you moving them down after losing to the Panthers?
I'm still in on the Rams.
Patriots in your top 5?
Patriots would be in my top 5. Seahawks would be in my top 5.
Oh, God, I got to go up against Jackson Smith and Jigba the next 2 weeks. Oh, God. And he's coming off of a week where he ended his streak, of 70. I think he'd had, 75 yards in every game?
Oh, that he broke that?
Yeah, he didn't really do much against the Vikings and didn't really have to because they were starting that.
So he broke it.
They were starting that rookie quarterback.
He was like 3 for 34.
Yeah, he didn't do anything at all. 2 for 23, apparently, yeah.
Worse.
I still lost to Bubba with – if you had told me that Jackson Smith and Jigba was going to have 2 catches for 23 yards, I would have thought I was going to beat you, Bubba. But your damn team, you just play such good defense.
Can't put them away.
You just play such good defense. Every time they see Jackson Smith and Jigba and Jigba's in Paris lined up against them, the other team just forgets how to score.
People sleep on Aaron Jones in the backfield.
You got Aaron Jones as a starting running back?
Yeah.
And you're still alive in this playoffs?
My other starting running back's been either Bam Knight, who's been splitting carries, or Tyler Algier.
Yeah, I know. I remember we almost traded. We almost traded for Chase Brown for Nico, but
Bubba getting to the playoffs would be like the grittiest performance out of everyone in the league because he had last pick.
I'm kind of rooting for it. Not at my demise. Like I want to make sure I get my spot taken care of, but like this would be a great story. Bubba pulled himself up by the bootstraps. Last pick, like Sam said, in the fantasy combine. Really by no fault of your own other than bad strategy. It was just a blind poker hand.
That's good strategy.
Well, it wasn't good strategy, no.
I'd rather use that veto against something skill-based instead of just luck-based.
I feel the exact opposite. I would rather take my chance of being skilled than lucky. Unless I guess you just don't have any confidence in your skill. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're not a beer pong guy? You're not a flip cup guy?
Not really, no.
Those cups we used for flip cup were not good. I was glad to use my veto on that.
You don't think you could have beat Cody McClure in a foot race?
I could have that, yeah.
I would have maybe saved the veto. Or I used the veto and taken my chances skill-wise. You just had to be better than somebody in everything.
Oh, wow.
What'd you use your veto on?
I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, you went home with an idol in your pocket. Survivor 101. You can't do that, buddy. You can't do that. You can't go home with an idol in your pocket. You can't get eliminated with your veto in your pocket.
Speaking of Survivor, have you watched it recently?
No, I haven't.
There's a guy who I know we're wrapping up time here, but a couple episodes ago, he found a veto, and the whole time he's like, I'm going to use this veto on myself. I'm going to use it, and he pulls it out, and he's showing it.
The idol, you mean? The idol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Big Brother Survivor.
Yeah.
But then, no, he just doesn't use it on himself.
Did he use it on somebody else or just didn't use it?
No, just didn't use it.
Did they vote him out? They sent him home?
No.
Well, that's good. He gets to have it, but now they know.
Yeah, but now they hate the guy.
Okay.
Thought you were a big Survivor guy.
Yeah, I just haven't watched the last 2 seasons. I don't know. It's just set in my DVR and I just haven't watched them. And then I'm like,
Did you watch the season from that guy in Nashville who worked for A to Z?
No, I didn't. That's the one I quit watching. I was like, I had it on my DVR for 6 weeks. Like, I'll catch up. And then just never did. And then I saw basically who was in the Final Four. And I said, never mind. And I just never went back and rewatched it. I didn't watch Big Brother this summer either. It's very weird. I don't know if I'm burned out. I got to be honest, the MTV The Challenge, I haven't really loved it this season either. Maybe I'm out of reality TV for a while.
You still love watching Big Brother.
Yeah. Good football discussion. Let's go to break. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Whether you are buying or selling a home or even looking for some land to build on and start a family, be sure to give Reed Emerson with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Heritage Group a shout. He is a longtime listener and supporter of Fan Run and has been serving the Mid-State for many years. Reed prides himself on his hassle-free and honest approach, and that's because he's not just chasing another commission. He wants what is best for his clients. Give Reed Emerson a call or text him today to get the process started. His number is 931-492-0418, or you can find him online at bhgheritagegroup.com.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Whether it's a routine cleaning, whitening for that big event, or fixing a nagging toothache, our gentle team is here for you. With flexible hours, family-friendly care, and the latest technology, Knoxville Smiles makes every visit stress-free. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Call Knoxville Smiles today at 865-539-1776 or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hit the highway on the Vegas worm. Fool.
Signing day just around the corner. I believe it's tomorrow, right? Today's signing day eve. Tennessee dealing with a full court press. We had talked about Tristan Keys yesterday, Sam.
Yeah.
And you had talked about, how Ole Miss couldn't even really get him on campus with Lane Kiffin and get really any real interest. Well, I've been told that they are now doing a full court press, as LSU is as well with Kiffin. So like you're taking a battle from both of those schools in the Lane Kiffin change. Ole Miss trying to keep
You're saying Ole Miss is going hard after him
Ole
too?
Miss, yeah, Ole Miss is now going hard after him, trying to keep him in state, trying to convince him to give them a chance. I don't know if they just had some new money,
maybe he didn't like Lane, and they're
maybe,
like, Lane's out of town. You want to come back here?
I don't know what the reason is, but LSU also strong in the mix, trying to make a final push. Apparently, Josh Heupel spent a lot of Sunday trying to smooth that over with Keys and keep him kind of in the boat and committed, to which it seems like people still expect him to end up at Tennessee, but you are fighting a battle there. Tennessee, according to updates, in a good spot with J.J. Finch. People talking about him. He'd committed to Alabama over the summer, but Tennessee didn't back off of him. They kept recruiting him, and now people feel like Tennessee may be going to get a signing day flip with him. On one hand, you look at some of J.J. Finch's stuff, they call him a 3-star. On the other hand, you're beating Alabama for him. Do they still get the rub with that? Do you still look at Alabama like as a, hey, you know, as long as they're in the mix, we're still happy there? It's obviously not the same as Saban. But
I think so.
You still look at that as a big positive, though, right? To beat them for a guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, James Pierce was a guy who was a 3-star on a couple different sites whenever we got him. I know a few had him as a 5-star as well, but, like, you know, I try not to get super wrapped up in the, oh, what's this guy's star rating, and more of just, you know, who's kind of, what teams are kind of projecting him as, what are they projecting him as, and who's kind of getting into bed with him. Some other good teams around there, Michigan and Miami.
Another name to look for, according to updates, is Carter Gooden. He is a 4-star defensive lineman that's currently committed to UCLA, but Tennessee's still trying to flip one, if not both of those guys, kind of, you know, bolster up the defensive line class. Where do you rank the defensive line in terms of need after this season? Because, you know, you kind of got gutted last year by the NFL. I think you still had some good edge rushers this year, but it did feel like you were pretty weak in the middle all season.
Yeah, I think you got to bolster the that interior of your defensive line. I think you said it, but this year I thought you really saw the impact of, you know, Omar Norman Lott and Elijah Simmons and Amari Thomas and those type of guys. Just big bodies up front. The depth wasn't there.
Yeah, and Rivals wrote this. This is where a lot of these updates are coming from. Rivals also saying that Tennessee remains with the late momentum. They've stolen it from Georgia Tech when it comes to 4-star edge rusher Jordan Carter. That was a guy that was committed to Texas A&M, decommitted from them, about a month ago, and Tennessee has felt like a good target or a good landing spot for him. And it does appear that Tennessee trending that way as we get down to these final hours, where I imagine the phone starts ringing off the hook and you really start getting some NIL stuff really, really ramped up and some offers really coming in.
I do think that defensive line's a huge need, though, in terms of just the portal and high school recruiting, because, you know, like Bryson Eason, Don Bailey, Tyree West, Josh Josephs, those guys are going to be gone.
Yeah, you're going to lose even more guys. Like, you got some good young studs on there from last year, last year's recruiting class. But I feel like you need 10 guys that can play, so you just need to stack as many bodies as possible. I feel like if I was a good prospect, and by good I mean like 4-star, 5-star, do you think you'd be an early enroll, like an early commit, or a late guy that's like fielding these offers and like everybody's got kind of like 1 or 2 spots left on their class, and they're offering you the kind of the leftover money? I feel like there'd be some benefit to just playing the game as long as you could. Go on all these visits, get some money for going on the visits, and then wait around and have like some desperate teams throwing, big time money at you. Because like when you tell me like 4-star edge rusher Jordan Carter is like, it's like down between like Tennessee and Georgia Tech and Auburn, like, run the price up. Because I imagine Georgia Tech and Auburn with a new coach, Auburn will be pretty desperate here.
I feel like it'd go both ways, though. Like, you play the waiting game and you start to get recruited over as well.
Yeah, maybe if you just know that you have a home you want to go to, I guess. But, like, if you're actually torn, just wait. Although maybe if you commit, then you get more money to flip.
I feel maybe like most of it is just getting on campus early and, like, kind of already getting a head start at where you're at in the depth chart and everything, and trying to get playing time as a freshman.
Just like being in the plans.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, Faison Brandon's been committed for 2 years, but like, so I guess like you're able to plan around that. Defensive lineman, I don't think that really happens with, though, right? Like if you're a defensive lineman, you just get on there and like you're just going to have to work your way up the chart regardless. I don't think very many freshmen are thought of as having like guaranteed spots in like a rotation without getting on campus first. I just wonder, like, what type of offers are coming in now for these guys, like these guys that are, like, open to being flipped. Is it just leftover money? Or is the team desperate? Like, because there's so many new coaches. Like, I imagine every new coach is getting, like, a big influx of cash here, right? Like, If you're Lane Kiffin, you probably do have some extra money that they've promised you to throw at Tristan Keys. Same for Pete Golding. You probably got some extra money to throw at Tristan Keys. Now, maybe the benefit of having Keys, on board for so long is that it's hard to get him to change his mind, in the witching hour here. It'd be so cool to be a big-time prospect and have people begging for you and offering you money. You don't even have to be good. Like, you can get life-changing money just from being good in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you really wasted an opportunity there, Sam. You
Me?
Yeah, I mean, you got a body that you could have maybe been a D1 wide receiver.
I'm a white guy, John. I can't run that.
You ain't got to bring race into it. You could have trained.
Look at the SEC. Look at how many guys like me are out there.
Me and Bubba didn't have a chance, though. You mean to tell me you don't think you could have played wide receiver at Georgia Tech if you dedicated like your whole
Ladd McConkey?
Yeah, you ever heard of Ladd McConkey? Like, if you had dedicated your
entire the footwork that Ladd McConkey
got,
got.
because you didn't have the work ethic. Like, do you think that if we had dropped you 10 years old, 11 years old, and said your goal is to be a D1 wide receiver, you don't think you could have gotten there?
I mean, yeah, but I wasn't.
Me and Bubba had no chance. I'm 5'11". Bubba's 5'6.5". Like, he had no shot of making it.
I wasn't 6'2" when I was 10.
Were you a late bloomer?
Yeah.
Is that the problem?
Probably.
Maybe if you had known you're going to be 6'2", 6'3", like
if I'd gotten the signs in like 7th or 8th grade, I probably would have gone a little harder at it. Maybe
that's fair because that was about the age I was whenever they basically you're kind of done growing, big dog. You're like, you ain't making it to 6 foot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got no shot of doing anything special under 6 foot. So
I was still like 5'8",
okay.
5'9", and then I just like one summer hit a big spurt.
Man, I bet that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did your body hurt? Do you remember growing
pains?
pains?
Still hurt.
Yeah. What year was it? How old were you when you hit a growth spurt?
Probably like my freshman year of high school.
Okay, so not super late.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't Anthony Davis between junior year and senior year or something crazy like that, or sophomore and junior year?
I think Dalton Connect was something crazy like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and his was even made even more confusing because of COVID. That'd be pretty cool. Just be sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden, boom, you go from short to tall. I'm just kidding, everybody. Bubba's not 5'6.5". He's a very sturdy 5'8".
that was a straight 5'6.5".
He's a very sturdy, stout 5'8". You wouldn't want to get into a brawl with Bubba. Low center of gravity, barrel chested. I don't know if he's got any dog in him or not, though. You got any dog in you, Bubba?
Don't know.
Yeah, he don't know either. He don't know the answer either. How am I supposed to know? Hour 2 in the books. We'll kick off hour 3 with some headlines. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball to score points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear! Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Round 3.
The world's greatest radio show. The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
Power rankings, Tuesday trivia. John Reed and Cody going wild, no Olivia. Wood grain on my leather seats. I got the whole team eating like I'm Johnny Eats. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Talk sports while I'm chewing a Zen. Ay. Talk sports while I'm riding to work. All the ops take a ride in a hearse. East Knoxville. Ay. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Morning booming from 7 to 10. All the ops take a ride in a hearse. East Knoxville.
Hour number 3
Talk
kicking off
Sports
here in the
3.0.
White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. This batch of headlines brought to you by Knoxville Smiles. Tick, tick, tick. Time is ticking away on the 2025 year and the month of December for you to take advantage of their half-price whitening with a cleaning. Book a routine dental cleaning. Get whitening at half price. Call today to set up your appointment at 865-539-1776. That's 539-1776 or online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles. Hour 3 headlines. Sam Beard collision course right now.
Thank you, John.
You're
We've
welcome.
got some romance on the water. 5 years after Klay Thompson began sailing, and it was his new escape for Captain Klay. He's got a new boat in his marina, I guess you could say.
His fleet.
The SS Stallion.
How about that?
He has
good for them.
Either bought a boat or named a boat after Megan Thee Stallion.
Those crazy lovers. Good for them.
It's a good-looking boat, too.
That's a good-looking gal and a good-looking guy. Good for them.
You support that couple?
Yeah.
I do, too.
I liked seeing Meg does these cooking tutorials online. And for Thanksgiving, she put her whole heart and soul. Easy for me to say. She put her whole heart and soul into cooking for Clay's family. And I was like, man, that's real love. That's a real relationship. Good for them.
Apparently she carried.
Yeah, the food looked good. I mean, credit to her because she's been pretty rich and famous for a while now. You would think that maybe she had forgotten how to cook. Maybe she had lost those skills. It doesn't appear so.
I did. Did you see the spaghetti and catfish that she made like a month or two ago?
No, I don't think so.
That was one of her specialties, apparently. I don't know about that, but Thanksgiving did look good. This was hilarious in the Titans game. Jacksonville Jaguars punter Logan Cook said that he was going to kill Julius Chestnut during the game. There was a bit of a scuffle kind of in the game. Logan Cook, not a small guy, 6'5", 230-pound punter, and he basically got all up in Julius Chestnut's grill and said, "I'm going to kill you."
Do we view that as a real death threat?
No.
I feel like the Titans come out of this looking pretty soft.
I think so too, and I think it's like if this was maybe like a big, I mean, I know that 6'5", 230 is still a big guy, but if it was like a 6'7", 330 guy being like, "I'm going to kill you," like I feel like that maybe would have a little more intent, but maybe it's just the punter, like his position.
I don't know.
You're not gonna kill me.
I think just in sports, in an argument,
that's got to come up a lot.
Tempers are flared. Yeah, like the fact that Titans are calling this a death threat, I can't call it the low point of the season because there's been a lot of low points. There's been a lot worse stuff on the field, but like including every J.C. Latham snap that I've seen online recently. My God, what has happened to him? Has he always sucked? Is it just taken? Can you take like 2 bad plays from every offensive lineman and just like make them look bad?
Probably, but like I feel like Cody could have put up a better performance at right tackle than some of those reps that we saw from J.C. Latham.
Yeah, I think you could have, and you're not. Yeah, you're not a lineman at all.
He just didn't really look interested in using his hands, which is a really important part of offensive line.
I was going to say, to be better, all you'd have to do is literally look like you care.
Yeah.
That's all you'd have to do. I think you should be allowed to tell people you'll kill them on a football field, especially in the middle of an argument. Like, I don't think that's a death threat. I think that's pretty soft.
I think that falls very low on like the bad things that get said to someone on a football field.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis.
Now, if he said he was going to kill like the guy's wife and kids or family or mom or something, that's a little bit different. But in the middle of an argument, like, I've told people I'd kill them before. I told the one guy, leaving the Georgia game that I hope he died. I hope he wrecked and died on the way home. I didn't really mean it, but we're in the middle of an argument. I didn't say like I hope his whole family dies. I just said I hope you die. You want to fight? I will kill you. I will end you. And people say that. That's common. Now, you told him like how he was going to do it. Like, I'm going to come to your house, break in, tie you up, cut your eyelids off, and keep taking pictures with the the flash on.
There wasn't enough detail for it to get blown up this big, I think. Very, very polarizing college basketball broadcasting duo here, as Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley are going to be calling 2 games together, including a first 4 matchup this year. So they'll get one of the first 4 games to begin the NCAA tournament. But then they will also call a game on December 13th on ESPN between Indiana and Kentucky. Dave O'Brien will also be the play-by-play announcer. So it's not just them 2 in that game, but I guess we're putting Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley together.
That's fine. It's not to be morbid, but like if we do the Dick Vitale retirement tour, the farewell tour, kind of like the John Cena farewell tour, just let him do everything he wants to do before he retires and or dies. Like, hey, here's you and Charles Barkley. You guys hang out. There you go. Let's put you on here doing this. Hey, you and Stephen A. Smith call a game. Hey, you want to go throw the first pitch of the Tampa Bay Rays game? Whatever you want to do, Dick. You've earned it where you get kind of a farewell tour.
Apparently, they're very close. Vitale and Charles Barkley.
That surprises me. Like when you tell me they're very close. Why? Why would they be close?
It said back in 2013, Charles Barkley told a guy from The Athletic, who was then working for Sports Illustrated, that he wanted to call a game with Dick Vitale.
So, yeah, I mean, if they've had that talked about, I mean, Vitale's not got much longer. Let him do everything he wants to do. It'll be cool. I mean, like it'll be interesting to listen to him. And Charles Barkley's in a similar place. Not it doesn't feel as close to death. Although, hell, who knows? We could all be right on death's doorstep. You know what I mean? I could walk outside and have something fall on my head. Car could blow up. I could get locked in and it catch on fire. You never know. We all could die. But, like, Barkley feels pretty close to the end of his career, where he's probably only got a couple years left to doing this. Let him do it. Let legends do whatever they want. And I don't really like Dick Vitale, but I loved him as a kid, which I think we all could say. We all loved him when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get a certain age, you're like, okay, it's kind of annoying. Maybe some people have gotten back to the point where they really like Dick Vitale again. Not so much me, but I acknowledge it's mostly because of what he did to that bathroom before I went into it at the SEC championship inside Bridgestone Arena. I got some PTSD from that. When I see Dick Vitale or hear him talk, I think about the sweat dripping off of his forehead and the brown streaks all over the commode and the god-awful smell I had to walk into. That's what I think of when I think of Dick Vitale.
Happens to all of us.
It does. It does. And it's maybe not fair for me to go tell everybody about what happened to Dick Vitale there, especially as an older guy. But, like, hey, you know, it happens. Maybe it's not fair. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But that's what I think of.
I feel like I've walked into the bathroom here after you with some brown streaks and a
no.
smell.
Well, I'm not saying it's never happened, but at the old station, sure, we didn't have equipment. But I will say that I feel like we put a toilet brush in there. I feel like I'm very diligent with the toilet brush because
you're conscious of that.
Well, yeah, because they made fun of me at the other place, but I didn't have any. I wasn't going to reach my hand in there with toilet paper and clean it off. You know what I mean? Like, what was I supposed to do? But here. And really, like at my home, I am pretty conscious about making sure that I take the brush and wipe it off. So I gotta say that I'm calling that report erroneous. I feel like you're letting stereotypes and the frequency that I go to the bathroom make you think things are true that aren't really true. In a past life, yes. In a past life, yes. Not recently. The last 3 years, I've gotten really conscious of that. Yeah. I've gotten really conscious of that.
Steelers fans were chanting "Fire Tomlin" in their loss to the Bills after losing 26-7.
There was a report out there that there was a big time, like, I don't know if they specified AFC or just NFL coach that's been at a place for a long time that's ready for a change of scenery. Makes me wonder if it's him. Like, but you could say that about Harbaugh too. I'd imagine the Ravens fans are kind of fed up with Harbaugh. I could see either one of those guys becoming available on the market.
I feel like some team will snatch either of those guys up immediately.
Would they excite you?
Like me personally, for like the Titans?
Yeah, the Titans are poor.
I mean, yeah, like I'm not gonna stick my nose up at Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers. So, like, you know, I get that, but like, man, like Mike Tomlin hasn't had good quarterback play in 8 years. Now, I'm not saying it's, you know, his fault or it's not his fault, but like, I don't know if I trust him to develop Cam Ward. Same for Harbaugh. Like, Harbaugh kind of lucked into Lamar Jackson. Like, Lamar saved his job that one time, or else he'd have been fired 7 or 8 years ago. And then, you know, the offensive coordinators get a lot of credit for what they do with Lamar. I don't know if it's Harbaugh or not. But beggars can't be choosers. I think if I'm taking the old retread coach, I'd rather have Mike McCarthy. Like, I think what Mike McCarthy did with the Cowboys 3 of the last 4 years he was there, right? Because he won 12 games 3 years. Was that right? Went 12, 12, 12, and then like 6, and they fired him. Is that what happened? Something like that? Like, I think that's equally impressive to what Mike Tomlin's done over the last 10 years. Mike Tomlin ain't won no damn playoff games either. You could say maybe Harbaugh's been better, but like, to me, Harbaugh and McCarthy had similar success in terms of like the last, 4 or 5 years. I just think both those guys. I think both those guys trail McCarthy when it comes to quarterback development too. So if I'm going with old retread, I'd rather have the rejuvenated Mike McCarthy. Is how I feel. But I
think we need a culture change more than we need just like a coach who can go develop a quarterback.
Yep.
Like, I just trust Mike Tomlin to go get a staff that can develop a quarterback, and Tomlin's the culture guy.
And maybe that's true too. And the Colts, again, I don't know what quarterbacks they've developed. They failed with Kenny Pickett. Now maybe Kenny Pickett sucked. Like, I'm not comparing him to Cam Ward. But McCarthy, I think he would do the culture thing too. But I think Harbaugh would too. And, like I said, I wouldn't be annoyed with any of those three. there was some updates on the Titans search that said that, McCarthy, Matt Nagy. How would you feel about Nagy?
Would probably put all the other NFL teams on a wheel and spin it, and that'd be my new NFL team.
I don't think you'd actually give up on the Titans, you being a mid-state guy yourself, but I understand. I understand the point you're making. Because I kind of feel the same way about Matt Nagy, but I wonder if that's fair. Because it does feel like Matt Nagy and Mike McCarthy, those are the two coaches that have ties to this front office when it comes to, Brinker and Borgonzi. Those guys have ties to Nagy and McCarthy. Who are the quarterbacks there for Nagy in Chicago?
Mitch.
It was Mitch.
Yeah.
The whole time?
Pretty
When was
sure.
Mitch drafted? He was drafted 2018, is that right?
He was in that Mahomes draft.
And that was
2017, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then he got Mr. Trubisky in year 2. I mean, they went 12-4 that one first year. But then, 8-8.
Double doink, right?
8-8, 8-8, 6-11.
I just think he's like a Mahomes merchant. He's been able to rehabilitate himself just under the guise of Andy Reid and the Chiefs being such a healthy organization.
I agree. And like I said, I wouldn't like Nagy either. But I do think there's something to coaches getting a second chance and being better the second go-around than the first go-around. So, maybe him getting a taste as a head coach and then going back and sitting under Andy Reid again, maybe he's learned and comes in from a better place, a more mature place. I could see that maybe happening.
But maybe that is the way to do it in the NFL, with just copying what successful organizations do. But I don't necessarily love just trying to be hey, let's go be the Chiefs because we hired a Chiefs GM and we think that someone in the pre-draft process said that Cam Ward has some Patrick Mahomes qualities to him.
Fair enough. But when you talk about culture, would you not rather have a coach that has head coaching experience versus a first-timer? Because I think, that's part of the reason Callahan was such a disaster, is that he had never been in that position before and didn't know how to handle it. So I do think in the NFL experience matters. Now, if you can get the hot shot like Ben Johnson, maybe you don't need experience if you're just a genius. Maybe you can do that. But I think ultimately I'm fine with the NFL giving a guy a second shot, because I do think some coaches get bad draws with a quarterback or get bad draws with the front office or whatever. Not saying that's Nagy.
So would you take Nagy over Clint Kubiak out in Seattle, or
yeah, probably
the Rams DC, those two young guys that seem like big name targets for the head coaching cycle?
Yeah, the Rams DC, both those guys I think have put together good units, right? The offense in Seattle is really good. The defense in Los Angeles is really good. So I wouldn't be mad at those guys, and at least I think both those would get credit, right? Because McVay's an offensive coach. So the defensive coordinator is doing a lot of work. Same in Seattle, their head coach is a defensive coach, so their offensive guys doing a lot of work. That's different than Brian Callahan, who was not even a real coordinator because the head coach is calling plays. But I do think adults, being an adult in the culture, I do think that stuff matters. I do feel like the Titans, there are a lot of good options at head coach that would probably get me pretty excited, or at least okay, this is good. And that's without Mike Tomlin, who's getting booed, and Harbaugh, who's getting they're restless there with him the way they're playing. It'd be pretty nice to pluck from those guys. I don't know what the answer is, because Vrabel wasn't a head coach before he came to the Titans, and I think he was a natural. He was a bad defensive coordinator in Houston, but he was a good head coach. I don't think until you put him in a position. So with those coordinators, I wouldn't know if they'd be good as head coaches. At least I've seen McCarthy, Tomlin, Harbaugh, those guys at least do the job and do it at a good level. Now you could argue about the game passing Tomlin by, which I feel like it has, but you couldn't argue about the culture he would set. And maybe you give him a good young quarterback for the first time and he could figure stuff out. Because they used to throw the ball around with Big Ben. They used to do that stuff. Yeah, well, that means the Titans are going to mess it up somehow, because it seems like there's a lot of good options. Good batch of headlines. We'll come back after the break. I assume no Tuesday trivia, right?
No, I don't.
I don't have it. We don't really have competitors. Bubba doesn't like playing.
Show.
Cody's not here. We could have maybe done the audience or something. Maybe Tim never shows up anymore. We can't play with him. Maybe we can get something for the rest
We
of
need
the
Mike
week,
Tomlin in this damn office. We need some culture.
The culture's falling apart
Oh,
around
damn.
here. Vacations and
Get your
people
ass to
working
the
from
office.
home. Too many people working from damn home these days. William, maybe. I guess we could tag William in, let him play. Maybe tomorrow or something. We'll see. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio. The voluntary reaction.
This football season, tune into Big Orange Country's post-game radio free-for-all, The Voluntary Reaction, presented by the Griffin Law Firm. We'll be live on the Fan Run Radio app as soon as every UT game is over, taking your calls and breaking down the game to levels that can only be described as beyond scientific. So tune in and drink with us from the keg of glory or drown in the pool of despair. The Voluntary Reaction on Fan Run Radio.
The Voluntary Reaction. Raw, unfiltered, real.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Timeless traditions start with the ones we love and what we bring home for the season. Bring Inward Half home this holiday. Comfort and performance, made for the journeys you take and the memories you make. For quiet moments or the days you'll remember forever. From performance polos to cozy hoodies, modern apparel for men, women, and kids, there's something for everyone. This holiday, make tradition comfortable. Make it memorable. Make it Inward Half.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, hit tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
God knows I am reincarnated.
Would Tennessee finishing the recruiting cycle strong fix your vibes? Is that enough to get you fired up heading into year 6?
Temporarily, yeah. Still got to see what we do in the portal, but like landing all these big guys that we've gotten in our class, making sure nobody flips, maybe getting a flip or two yourself. I think that would stabilize things. I don't know if it would change it entirely for me.
Bubba, do you care about the end of the recruiting push here over the next, 36 hours, 24 hours, 26 hours. I don't know what time. I guess they give you basically like 6 o'clock that night, I feel like, in the past. Or all day. Hell, I don't know. Over the next day and a half, Bubba.
Depends if we lose any big-time targets. Tristan Keys flips, it's going to keep raining down in Knoxville. But if we're able to pick up another, Jordan Carter, this guy doesn't look too bad of a prospect here with what people are saying.
I'd get pretty fired up if Tennessee at least, turn some heads. There's a chance. There's some names. We went through a couple of them. There's 4 or 5 prospects Tennessee's working on. If Tennessee flipped some of those high-impact guys and ended up in the top, 7 or 8 in recruiting, I think at the end of the day, that'd be pretty exciting. Now, I don't know if it's enough to get the bad taste out of the mouth from the Vanderbilt game. That's going to take a long time. But, I do think the whole sky is falling thing goes away, right? I think that's fair to say. Tennessee right now on 247, sitting with the number 8 class. If they're able to flip, I think the calculator would put them up to number 6. But really, to me, if you stay in the top 8 kind of universally, that would be a pretty big success as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you're going to be behind Georgia. Yeah, you're going to be behind Alabama. But in terms of SEC teams, the only 3 you're behind right now are Georgia, Alabama, and Texas. I think we can live with that, being on the doorstep with them, right?
I think at some point you have to just almost accept that you are just going to be behind those schools because they just have better in-state talent than you to pick from, and
right.
You just can't go out into your backyard and take every kid that wants to go to a Georgia or wants to go to Texas, where it is a limited talent pool when you're recruiting in-state. And so if you go out and you get some of your top guys in-state and you stay within that top 10, having to go poach most of your class from around the country, to me that's pretty much right where you want to be.
247 has Tennessee at 8 right now. On 3 has you at number 10, but you would really only add Texas A&M into the teams ahead of you. Texas A&M, Texas, Alabama, and Georgia. But you'd be right there with them, kind of on par. So I think that'd be pretty. I think that'd be good to hold on to your guys, flip a couple important ones. That would go away. I got to be honest. I put out a video yesterday across our social media platforms. The five things I would do to fix Tennessee football this offseason. I got to be honest, boys. That's the most positive feedback I've gotten in a while.
What'd they say?
Everyone just 90% of the comments, spot on, great list, great stuff. You got a couple, this guy's an idiot, but usually it's about half and half. This time it was 90-10. Felt good. Even the Facebook boomers were on my side.
That's the crowd you want.
I don't know which crowd I like better. The TikTok people are weird, but I like them. The Instagram people are better looking, so I wish they would like me. The Facebook boomers, they probably got most of the money. So I'd probably ultimately like them to the show and the station more and spend more money, I guess. But the Instagram, TikTok crowd, they're usually younger. So, continue to, improve our reach in the youth. But they liked them. They liked my list. Now, of course, you had a couple of jackasses that tagged Sterl the Pearl. Ruined his day. Because one of my 5 things on the list was I made sure to say that I didn't want to fire Sterl the Pearl. I said, I ain't trying to take anybody's job. But I said, we got to fix the playlist. Which I fully believe. I fully stand by. But you didn't have to go tag Sterl and bring it to his attention. I didn't want to hurt the guy's feelings, but maybe it's good bullying. Maybe like Josh Heupel, maybe we all need some harsh, evaluations. People tell me the things I do wrong all the time. People message me, call me an idiot all the time. Maybe it helps. If I've been acting like an idiot and someone says that's bad, I try not to do that thing anymore. So maybe if enough people tell Sterl the Pearl, hey, your playlist does suck, maybe he will add some new things in there.
Is he active on TikTok? Do you think he saw it?
Facebook is where he was getting tagged at mostly, and a little bit of Instagram. So I imagine he's active on both of those. I don't know about his TikTok game, but I did feel bad because some people were like, yeah, he sucks. I hate him. And I was like, I don't, it's kind of done in jest, kind of joking around. But I was surprised I didn't get really any big Morgan Wallen fans pushing back because another one of my top 5 things, like we talked about, was getting rid of that, that third quarter song.
Because everyone knows it sucks.
Yeah, I think everyone is on board now that it sucks. And I think ultimately we got to really get in Danny's ear about that. Like, we got to find something new, Danny. And I understand that, like, we're trying to start a tradition. It's hard to start a tradition from scratch. It is. And we are pretty much starting it from scratch. And maybe our new tradition is just we play the song of whoever's going to play Neyland Stadium and we're sellouts. Like, maybe that's what happened because that's how Friends in Low Places started with Garth Brooks. Hey, he's going to do a show in Neyland. Okay, now we sing Friends in Low Places. Hey, Morgan Wallen's doing a show in Neyland. Okay, now we do Morgan Wallen. I don't know if Luke Combs is going to unseat him. Does Luke Combs have any songs that would hit hard? I don't think so. I don't know. But I understand starting a tradition from scratch is tough. There's going to be some growing pains there. We want a third quarter song. We just got to find what it is.
Felt like Friends in Low Places was like a slingshot into fourth quarter momentum where you got 100,000 people singing together. You got good vibes. And then, like, I felt like there was always a big cheer after that. Felt like the Morgan Wallen is literally just like, oh, Morgan Wallen's on. I can go to the bathroom or go get a beer.
Look, man, Friends in Low Places, I know that Garth Brooks, his star is wanting a little bit. Like, I know that he's not as popular as he once was, but damn it, he's a legend. And Friends in Low Places, even though Garth won't let them stream anywhere for whatever reason, speaking of sellouts, he's like, oh, I get my music on Ghost. He tried to start his own damn music app, Ghost. And he's like, okay, well, I'll let Amazon Music have it, but no Spotify or Apple. Like, get over it, Garth. Get over it. But, like, Friends in Low Places is an iconic song. People want to sing along to that. No real disrespect to Morgan Wallen, but the way I talk, it's not really a sing-along. It's not iconic. I understand they say volunteers in it. I get that, but, like, it's not a sing-along.
I think we have a couple of opportunities here, right? The serious opportunity would be to either do Copperhead Road.
Copperhead Road's not really a sing-along song either, but at least it has, like, a stomp-around vibe to it.
It's got stompability.
Yeah, it depends what you're looking for. Because, like, Friends in Low Places, it was all about singing along. You put your arms around each other. I got friends. And everyone's having a good time. Copperhead Road, no one knows the words of that. And I don't know if the crowd even knows what that would be. I think, of course, some people would really know what it is. I don't know if the student section knows what the hell Copperhead Road is. Like, the sorority girls ain't going to know what it is. They're like, what the hell is this? But the stompability, I understand. And it talks about coming down to Knoxville. I get all that. But, like, I don't know how that would hit either. But keep going, Bubba. You got other options.
Another should be Wagon Wheel.
Okay.
Then some non-serious options would be some Kings of Leon or Paramore, as we learn, our Tennessee.
I mean, use somebody might have been something like that's. I think use somebody. It's no Friends in Low Places. Don't get me wrong, but I think use somebody more iconic than the way I talk. Right? Know that I can use somebody. I mean, I don't know what you need for the song, but I just know whatever we're doing in Neyland Stadium, it's hurting all around. The gimmicks, the light shows, everything. The music, all of it's attached to it. Story of the Pearl. There is something, like I said, most of this was done in jest, but I do think there is something that we have to reevaluate when it comes to our home field atmosphere. And you might could say, hey, that's an overreaction after one bad season. I don't care. It doesn't feel good in there sometimes. And maybe you do things to fix it.
I think people were making that claim even during last year in the playoff run.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe it was more because you got shut out and you didn't score a point in the half for half the season.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because it's two-sided. Like I see people this year say, of course it's not loud in there whenever your team can't get third down stops. But you're right, Sam. In 2024, people complain because the offense couldn't score. You were getting a lot of third down stops last year. Your defense was good, but it still didn't feel great in there.
Like, I didn't go to the Georgia game this year. You went to Bama last year, right?
I went to Georgia. I went to Bama. I go to most big games at home.
Did the Georgia game this year feel like a bigger did the crowd feel as juiced up as Bama last year? Because I thought that Bama crowd last year was pretty electric.
Yeah, no, I mean, like if I had to pick which game I thought was more electric, I'd probably say Bama last year. Although I don't even know if that's fair because it's hard, Sam, to kind of compartmentalize it and separate, or because like to me, like, hey, the first quarter against Georgia was raucous. Like when Tennessee was going down the field, you're going crazy scoring. But the second and third quarter was so boring and lifeless from a Tennessee perspective. You didn't get any big offensive plays. You had no juice. The defense is bending but not breaking. It's like, hey, here's a touchdown, but okay, now we're holding you to a field goal. And damn, at a halftime, here's this, this drive where you go right down our throats, for 75 yards just running the ball. Like vibes weren't good. But then like fourth quarter, turnover, place was rocking. I think ultimately like the Georgia game just is a perfect encapsulation of the season of just like you couldn't play complimentary football all season, and like that Georgia game for a big game, you couldn't keep people invested alive.
We didn't have complimentary crowd work either.
We didn't. And like I do think there's something to it. Like I don't know how to fix it, but like I do think the overall experience in Neyland Stadium has to improve somehow. Especially as you compete with other things, or maybe it's not even compete. Maybe it's just like to give people the feeling that they're getting their money's worth. I don't know what it is. Maybe get rid of the Wi-Fi, keep people off their damn phones. Maybe we went too far, Danny. Slow the Wi-Fi back down.
Honestly, not a bad idea.
I wonder. And look, it's a dumb question. It's a dumb question that I'm about to pose, and it's a dumb thought because I get it. It's a business. But also, like, I do wonder when you look at the other schools or really the other, like, professional teams and, like, where I'd like to know what the tipping point is of, like, hey, enough money has been made. Let's cheapen things, concessions, beers, food. I know that like the ticket prices, I don't even really get mad at Danny about because I think there's nothing he can do really about the secondary market. A lot of the complaints about ticket prices come from people that are gouging other fans. Now maybe you could say it's like the partnership with Ticketmasters made it all worse. Maybe that's the take. I don't know, but like it does just feel like something's missing with just the entire presentation. Maybe ultimately it's winning, but like you said, Sam, we went undefeated at home last year, and I don't know how many people would have considered last year a fun season inside Neyland Stadium. Then you hear Sterling Pearl shaking his ass and singing Backstreet Boys, and it just all comes crashing down.
Did the Falcons, when they opened up their stadium, did they always have those cheap concession prices?
But I don't know what their home atmosphere is like. I mean, they got accused of pumping noise in. Like the NFL is a little bit different than college too, obviously with the passion and the.
I mean, we got accused of pumping noise in.
Yeah, but that was just a dumb guy that didn't realize we had a speaker on the field for the band. Like the Falcons actually got in trouble for like putting music or like making crowd noise. Like, they got punished by the NFL for it. We just had a dumbass that thought, hey, because we have speakers on the field, we're pumping in crowd noise. No, we have speakers on the field to play the band and the music, but that's common. That's understood. 3 of the other things on my list, Sam, were, the new coordinators. And I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if that fixes anything. I don't know if, like, Tim Banks is a problem. I don't know if you could upgrade there. I don't know if getting rid of Joey Halzle fixes anything, especially if Heupel is going to continue control. But I do think it'd be a big shot in the arm for people if you just thought you were doing something different. Do I think Tim Banks should be fired? Should be? Probably not. Probably not. You can save your jokes. It's not even me like caping for him. Like it's not me thinking he's great, but it's just like I do think it's tough to get fired in a year when you've just been decimated by injuries. After having a top 10 defense, I think that'd be a tough look. But also at the same time, I understand Tim Banks has a lot of flaws. I understand that the game plan against Vanderbilt was inexplicable. Like that one performance alone might be bad enough to get him fired. I know we've talked about it on the show a lot. I don't think he was as bad all season as everybody else did, but I did think that Vanderbilt game was unacceptable. Injury or not, like injured or not, like go out there and make better plays. Have a better game plan. The one thing you can't have happen is Diego Pavia run down your throat and you let that happen. That was a fireable offense. Halsley, again, I would like to ask him, what exactly do you do here? What's your responsibility on game days? Like, what are you getting paid for? Maybe there's something more, complicated there that we don't know as fans and media that's not, completely tapped into the inner workings. I don't think anybody really knows outside of Heupel and then maybe the guys at VolQuest. Maybe they know. But, I'd like to know, Joey, what do you do here? Because he's getting paid a salary of somebody that's doing something important. And if that is the case, then he probably needs to be fired. If he's just trying to do what Josh Heupel says, then we got to reduce your salary. Can't be both. Can't be paid, almost $2 million or whatever to be a yes man if you're not going to do anything else to justify having that money. Otherwise, that's just wasted money. And if you are getting paid big money to do something different, unique, and to run things, you're not doing a good enough job there.
Personally, I'd love it if this rumor of Florida being interested in Joey Halsley is true.
Yeah. I mean, I think now, look, I don't know if Josh Heupel is going to bring anybody that he's unfamiliar with in, though. That's the question, right? Does that lead to new voices, new plans, new strategy? Or is it just lead to more of the same? We promote from within, or even if it's not from within, we're getting somebody that I used to work with at UCF or Oklahoma that knows my offense. Heupel's been very protective of this offense his entire career. I don't see him heading into a make or break year doing something completely different. And maybe he shouldn't. The Tennessee guys will tell you, the historians, the people that were around, you boys might be too young, but hell, that's what undid Fulmer when he tried to bring in the claw fence and change things. And then all of a sudden it's the really anemic, terrible offense, and everyone hated it. And guess what? Boom, everyone's fired. Get out of here. It was bad. Dooley bringing in Sunseri. So I don't know if making coordinator changes while you're kind of in a precarious situation with the fan base. Like Fulmer and Dooley were different. They were on hotter seats. But like we said, Josh Heupel's seat isn't cool right now. He's got to win next year, right? To keep people happy. Like he has to go out and go at least what? 8-4 at the bare minimum to keep you somewhat content next year. Sam, you're making a face saying that wouldn't even do it for you.
No, I mean, after thinking about just the 9-game conference schedule, I think I probably would, take that. But depending on, where those wins and losses are kind of coming.
Let's say in a 9-game SEC schedule where your conference game is a road trip to Georgia Tech. It was a solid program. They've proven to be a good home team. Otherwise, you got what? At Arkansas. Is that right? We got to play Arkansas again?
Mm-hmm.
Really? How does that make sense? I thought they were changing stuff. We drew Arkansas again? Well, that's good, I guess. First-year head coach, dead program. At South Carolina, I mean, I imagine Beamer's going to do the same thing Tennessee's doing, right? Not firing the coach, going to give you a whole bunch of money. Figure out the roster. At Texas A&M, at Vandy. Eesh. We made jokes about our permanent rivals, but what if Vandy doesn't go away? What if Vandy all of a sudden is a thorn in the side every year? What if they do spend a bunch of NIL money? I don't look at that at Vanderbilt game as easy next year. Not after they punched you in the mouth. I know Pavia won't be there, but
might have a 5-star.
Or they might take some of Pavia's money and go out and get a big transfer portal quarterback. Vandy
People
should have
want to transfer there, yeah.
Yeah, Vandy should have the same strategy we have in terms of getting a gap year quarterback. We got Faison Brandon coming in. They look like they're going to have that Curtis kid.
If they get that kid, he's playing from the jump. That's like that's kind of the holdup of
Georgia.
It's really? He wants to go play as a freshman, but they've got Stockton for another year.
Okay.
But I think that's kind of the big thing with him and Vandy is like, hey, you can come in here and be a starter.
And play when day one. Okay. Fair enough. I was going to say they'd be in the same boat of trying to get just a 1-year stopgap to get him ready. I guess if you're Vandy, you don't have the same type of sway or the same proven track record of Georgia where you're like, nope, we're going to do things our way here because we win championships. If you're Vandy, you're probably like, yeah, Diego Pavia, you can come in and go crazy, do whatever you want. Yeah, Curtis, you can come in and be a starter from day one. Sure.
That kind of is your recruiting advantage of just
Sure.
like,
okay,
hey, we're a good team this year, but historically we've still got a roster where you can come in and play immediately type of thing.
Fair enough. At South Carolina, do we think Lenora Sellers is there next year?
Nah, not a chance.
Where's he going to end up? Miami?
Transfer of the draft. I do think this draft class maybe could be so bad that he's just like, you go out and you look good in the pro day and combine and like you could be like a 4th round pick or something like that.
See, that's the thing. Like that, to me, it would be really disappointing if that was the case, because to me, the one good thing that you could sell about NIL was that it would stop people from doing that. Like the one good thing about NIL is like, hey, if you're a good college player, you don't have to go to the pros to get paid. You can make a little money here if you're valuable and you're actually good. So if he left and wasn't leaving for like a top 10 grade, I think that'd just be really sad for him, because I do think he can make a couple $1 million in the transfer portal.
I mean, outside of the money that you would just make at college next year, though, wouldn't you say that's kind of a gamble of like you transfer, you look bad again next year, your draft stock just erases?
Sure. But I mean, like, I don't think I'm locking in a 4th round grade. Like, or, I know that you just kind of said that, but like, if I was not going to be a 1st round pick, I'm not locking in anything. I think I'd roll the dice on making some good money in college, a couple $1 million, be the man one more year, but really hope that I play my way into something good. And I think Miami is just going to always kind of be that place. I think that's going to be their strategy of like, hey, Cam Ward, it worked for him. Carson Beck, looks like it's going to work for him. And I don't know if he like necessarily saved his draft stock, but I think he's going to be a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round pick.
Money and then be like a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, like he improved it from what it was at Georgia last year.
Yeah,
like it was better than going to the pros last year. So yeah, I don't think Lenora Sellers will be there either. Road games aren't terrible, I guess, but it depends on how you feel about Vandy next year. LSU, Auburn coming in with new coaches, but I think both those teams should be better next year, even with the new coaches. Yeah, 8-4, nothing to do backflips about, but I think that'd be a solid enough season. Last call on the other side. We'll continue the conversation. We'll wrap this show up. Stick with us.
You're locked onto Fan Run Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and online at fanrunradio.com.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, hit tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
Hi, I'm Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or just need a change, it's never been more important to have experienced, trustworthy representation in the real estate process. So if you have any real estate questions, I'd love the opportunity to earn your trust. Call me anytime for a free chat, 865-742-1035, or find me online at BoKnowsHouses.com. The Kregner Group, real estate the right way.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Last call here on the program. Bubba, what do we miss today?
We have a sad announcement as NFL Red Zone has become even more ridden with ads.
Oh, no. Slippery
I think they're
slope.
up to 16 now.
The slippery slope got us. We let them get their foot in the door, and now look what they're doing.
We have Maya Brady.
So wait, hold on. Before you switch gears. You said 16, so 16 commercials?
I believe so. Throughout the 7-hour span.
16?
Started off as only 4, so they've
Oh,
quadrupled.
okay, I was going to say 16 feels like a pretty big jump. So they went from 4 to 16.
Since like week 1, I believe so.
The 4 don't the 4 don't really you don't really notice them too much. And usually it's just a damn DraftKings ad. Maybe they'll throw a car ad in there. I don't really mind it. Because my Sunday experience is just now watching the quad box on YouTube. I got 3 games and 1 red zone. Now, I do typically keep the volume on red zone. Depends on if the Titans are playing good or not. I'll keep the volume on the Titans until they start playing bad. Then I change the volume. But I don't really notice the red zone commercials at all during the average Sunday. But 16, you might start noticing. All right, go ahead.
We have Maya Brady, the niece of NFL legend Tom Brady, selected number 1 by the Athletes Unlimited Softball League expansion draft by the Oklahoma City Spark.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, I struggled there.
Can you read? Did you struggle reading out loud in class?
No.
Did you guys still do that in high school?
Yeah. I was a great reader.
Yeah.
I love putting a little like thought and effort and voices into it. You want me to do it for this one?
I bet you were great at doing that, actually.
Maya Brady, niece of NFL legend Tom Brady, was selected number 1 overall in the Athletes Unlimited Softball Official League in the expansion draft.
Did she play college ball anywhere?
UCLA.
Maya Brady, was she? I assume really good at UCLA.
I mean,
gotta be if you're the first pick, right?
Was she on the team that we just played in the tournament last year?
Surely.
How is that not a news story? How did Maya Brady have? You said it's his niece.
Yep.
How did we not know that Tom Brady had a niece, or maybe everyone did and I just didn't pay attention?
Yeah, I think it got mentioned on there.
Okay. I saw that Robert Kraft spent $1 million to try to boost up this women's flag football too.
Thumbs down on that.
I kind of like watching the women's flag football when they put it on ESPN. I kind of like it.
I don't know if
maybe me and you and Sam should go watch some local, like women's
rather
flag.
coach it.
Yeah, some of the flag football, like high school games. We should go check those out.
No. You can't say that.
I like football.
And maybe the fraternity and sorority, matchups that they got going on campus. But I don't know if same interest or not, but rapper Tuzi.
Ah, yes.
Committed to Syracuse. A 25-year-old Najor Tuzi Granger for wide receiver. I'm going to be honest, I don't know much of Tuzi's music.
I think we listened to him yesterday, right?
Is it true that he's 25? Someone said he was like 25. Is that true?
Sure.
Tuzi age. So he's 25. Yeah, he is 25, and he's going to play football at Syracuse?
Yep.
Is he good?
Apparently his film was good enough to get an offer.
Like, where the hell has he been playing?
think he's just out here just grinding.
Like, is he playing the flag football? And they're like, wow, look at this hip movement. Like,
he made his plans known this summer that he was taking a break from his multi-platinum music career, and he's been training frequently in Raleigh at NC State.
But, like, was he like a really good player or anything? I'm chasing history. First multi-platinum recording artist to go back to school and play Division I football. This is a whole nother soapbox. But anybody my age and older will agree and disagree with this guy's take. He is not a multi-platinum recording artist. He is not. Multi-platinum means you sold 1 million records. No one went out and bought 1 million of this guy's CDs. I know they don't sell CDs. I understand that. I don't care about the streaming equivalent to album buys. I don't subscribe to it. I don't believe it. He is not a multi-platinum recording artist. No, he's not. I don't believe it. He had one song that had a lot of plays. I will acknowledge that. I don't know if the song was good or not. It was one of those typical like rap songs that had like a good R&B hook on it, a little love song. Like I thought that part was good, but I thought whenever he started rapping, it was bad. But I need to know how the hell he actually got committed to Syracuse. Fran Brown doesn't really seem like the type of guy.
He never played college ball previously, so I guess he's just got full eligibility.
Yeah, but he doesn't really seem like the type of guy that would play into this.
I'm going to walk on to Tennessee.
Do it.
Apparently there's another guy who used to play professional basketball in Australia that's trying to be a football player.
Jermaine Cole.
Nathaniel Salmon, 6'7", 270-pounder. Okay. I'm so confused by this guy. That'll do it for us. The Tony Basilio Show coming up next. Stay locked in on Fan Run Radio.